Amazing evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Updates with Precious. It's always a pleasure to bring you updates or to read them when they happen for Inside Nigeria. So I don't land on the bot again to bring on an update of matter them when they hot for Inside Nigeria. My name is Precious Inye, and it's always a delight to be with us to bring us things that has to do with our nation and for us to talk about our country because say where information no day like this, it be like say go wooski for us. Well. So make I just run through some of the hot conversations we get this evening and then very quickly we go enter inside the better conversation we will get because our guests they on standby they wait for us already. Yeah, Bello. They said in fact court say in passport no day with them. So as we talk to you in a court, don't deny Yaya Bello access to travel out. You know, saying be saying won't go travel out to go collect treatment. And as it get to do with 2027, the former deputy governor of Lagos State will be saying that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu running mate. He don't say this 2027 ambition say that misplaced priority. Atiku's PDP resignation letter leaked by rogue elements. Now, spokesperson will be Paul Ibinai. They talk this one. Troops arrest NURTW members transporting arms to terrorists and IPOB ECN tax collectors. This, now, according to Defense Headquarters. And Kachikwu, Dumebi Kachikwu, don't they talk? He don't they talk. He don't they spit fire. Can you imagine? Now, according to this news by the Guardian newspaper, Kachikwu talk say ADC state chairman, the chairman then will resign that they were offered 20 million naira to resign. Now, so Kachiko they talk. But people go talk, say, wait, you're not the executive for the party, so why are they paying you? You were just a presidential candidate. You not be the executive for the party, so why are they paying you? We're coming to that, and our guest go address all of those matters. 2027, Atiku does not believe in southern candidacy. Not only not, now they in mind, that the same thing where be said the Kachiko himself too, can they talk. Meanwhile, bandits kill 3-year-old baby, abducts mother for where? For inside Katsina State, where be president or late president Buhari hometown. Now there that one happened. And then we'll move on to other conversation. Now, the NMA, will be Nigerian Medical Association, don't slam Femi Adesina. Say, why you go talk this kind of thing, say President Buhari to say take treatment for Nigerian for that. You see yourself, you have just exposed how reckless on a day, how on a no fit tackle things for inside on administration. And then we'll go revisit that case where you say Galadima talk, say we brought Buhari into power or into politics to stop Yoruba from dismantling Fulani in Ilorin. According to that statement, we will talk about them today too. And then 2027 tension, Buhari's CPC bloc may leave APC. And if they leave, what next? That no matter we will talk about. And then Dele Momodu don also resign from inside PDP. And one worrisome development, as Nigeria make lists from the bottom, as it get to do with countries where we say gets, the ranking, countries ranking for national, for global labor rights, as it get to do, because then come from the bottom. But all this matter and more now we'll talk about. And very quickly, make I bring in my guest for Inside the House. My guest na person will be say sabi well, and he don't dey here before. Him the economist and a person will be say in the kajad, in always a talk for the growth of our nation. Dr. Katch on Onuju, they join me for Inside the Studio. Dr. Katch, thank you so much as you join us for Inside the Conversation. Dr. Katch, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here with your
Thank
audience. And I thank you very much for
Thank you.
inviting
Dr.
me.
Katch, why it be say 2027 just the in the lip of everybody? Now, this now waiting everybody they wonder about. And then we don't see the wind of defection. It be like saying that the season of defection. Some people talk, say, now lack of respect for the character and the life of President Muhammadu Buhari for this to happen. But before you answer that question, since I don't mention President Buhari as he don't die, tell us what you think about who in be. Because Nigerians get mixed reaction over in death. Some people, they lambast them, say, nothing they good to talk about in administration. Make I get your opinion about them.
Well, I think what you have to understand is there is a saying in every community that when a man dies, the man will be remembered for who he was. It's a natural thing about life. Even in my own community, when the man dies, you must not lie. You must speak the truth about the man. If the man is bad, that truth you must to speak. Yes, it's just the same thing as having an autopsy when a man dies. The autopsy, it's about honest facts.
On waiting
Finding.
kill the person.
It is no more whether the man, yes, you'll find what killed him. And there's no story like you don't start glossing it. No. What is the truth? Tell us the truth. Forget all this you're hiding. tell us the truth. If it's any ailment, the autopsy will see it and the autopsy will reveal the truth. In my own community, when a man dies, the elders will come and pronounce on the man. If it's a very bad man, they will instruct that the man be moved to the evil forest so that he cannot be buried amongst the living. So I don't think people should be too bothered with people remembering President Buhari for who he is. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's why you're seeing for different parts of the country, different perspective. For the Hausas in Katsina, who took to the street and started celebrating, there's a reason why. For Hausas in Kanu who were celebrating, there's a reason why. Buhari means different things to different people. The TV have a different way to remember him. The Birom, who lost a lot of land, and under Buhari, where ethnic cleansing occurred, in Plateau, in Katsina, in Zamfara, in Sokoto, you cannot forget what happened under his watch. Okay, we have now heard his wife saying that he begged her to beg Nigerians to forgive him. That means he knows there were things he did that are not palatable. But because we're human beings, we have to forgive the dead and move on. I think his record and everything about him will stay with the history for those who want to look at the history. But when a man dies, there is nothing like hiding or telling something, a lie about him, no. The truth you owe humanity is to tell the truth about the man, so that if there are good things, people will learn. If there are bad things, people will learn and probably try to then not allow those bad things repeat themselves. And that's why I say, quoting President Bush, Bush
Yes, for
W,
people.
he said at the opening of the Smithsonian Institute, I was there that time. I was invited to an event by Ndoko Baigben of this day, and I was there at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington. And President Bush said that strong societies do not run away from their histories. They embrace their flaws and correct them. And when they correct them, they move on. So there's no need for us to. Buhari was not a private person, he was a president. If he had a record as good as President Liu Wushao, he would approach it that way and talk about it as the Taiwanese talk about him. If he had a record like Hitler, you don't run away from it. You embrace it and you talk about it so that the living will learn. And there are no two ways about
All
it.
right, sir.
All of us, when we go, we will be remembered for the way we lived. There are no two, you cannot sugarcoat it. That's the essence of autopsies. Autopsies will go into the body of the person and then try to bring out the truth of how the man lived. And if there were illnesses that led to death, they will say them. That's why you see us now discussing about President Buhari. We're not going to stop. And nobody can tell us not to say the truth. What we owe President Buhari and those who were affected by his life is to speak the truth of how he lived and also how his life impacted upon us. We can't run away
All
from
right.
such.
Thank you, sir. So I don't know if we should start with politics or start with security because it's important that we talk about both. But since politics is at the front burner already, let's quickly speak to some revelations right now. Now, Dele Momodu don't resign from Mona Party, and inside say it is some things we be saying no understand we PDP they do, and that's why he had to resign. He said that his resignation was because the party has been hijacked by anti-democratic forces, and that's one of the reasons he gave for resigning. Would you like to chime in on that?
And that is not true. Dele Momodu works, is not a member of the PDP. He works as a staff of Atiku. One, Atiku left the PDP because the governors told him privately that they intend to zone the presidency to the south. Now, this issue didn't start today. In 2015, Atiku, in anger at President Goodluck running, formed a caucus called
Yes.
MPDP. He used that
Now, part of
caucus
them, they be part of those who
to
be this now
break,
in APC. Yeah, from
yes, so he used that caucus to break the PDP and went to form a coalition with people from ACN, CPC, some factions of ABGA, AMPP led by Bonano, and they came together and called themselves APC. So, and that was how the PDP lost power. So they were told by President Buhari that he would serve a single term. But I think after Buhari got to power, on the mantra of Atiku saying it is the turn of the North, President Buhari got to power. And I think after Atiku saw that President Buhari was trying to organize for a
tenure.
second term of his presidency, he now ran away and then came to the PDP. And when he came to the PDP, and then the PDP understood that the reasons why him and others left was because they did not handle very well the issue
Zoning.
of zoning,
When they ceded
which,
power, when they
yes,
zoned to the south during, yeah.
exactly. And that was why the PDP now said, okay, if the reason of the zoning is the reason these people left the PDP, maybe to correct that crisis, the PDP decided into
Okay, sir.
the PDP, the PDP then decided in 2019 that as a way,
All right.
the PDP says that
Oh dear. I don't know why we have an
no,
interruption.
no,
There's
no,
a bit
no,
of an
I am
interruption in this.
having no, no, some interruptions. Some people are trying
Hmm.
to jam.
Trying to call you. Okay, sir. Hmm.
I think I just have to tell them. So the PDP,
Okay. Sincere apologies. Sincere apologies. I think he's trying to perhaps let the callers know that he is on a live conversation and they should give him a break. Okay, and we'll get to that. There are very interesting things that we have to talk about today on the show. So, Dumebi Kachikwu has been talking and he's been spilling a lot of beans or not so beans.
leave it,
And
leave
then
it,
we
leave
also
it.
look at the permutations. We also look at the permutations around who takes over the leadership of Northern politics now that late President Muhammadu Buhari is dead. Now, these are possible things that we'll have to look at on this show today because sit tight and relax. A lot of expose is about to happen on this show today because there are possible people where they come up as the since we feel lead the northern politics. Now we be say President
That's
Muhammadu
correct.
Buhari no day again. All right, let's see. Dr. Kasha, you back with us, sir?
Yes, I am
Okay. Sincere apologies,
back to
please.
you, and we'll check it from
Okay.
here. It's all right. I am back to you. I had callers undermining my
Sorry,
digital
sir.
connection with their
Sorry,
cellular
sir.
calls. So, as I was saying earlier, when that problem occurred, the PDP said, as a way to repair that problem, that it will now zone the
Hmm.
presidency to the north. And that was how Atiku Abubakar emerged in 2019, and I served as a member of the presidential campaign team. Nobody
Contested.
from the south
Yes.
contested against the north. Yes. So what we now said, the Atiku ran, Atiku did not win. Atiku then took off to Dubai. He was in Dubai until the end of the Buhari presidency. So as he came back, we now told him that since the presidential pendulum in Nigeria swings between the north and the south, that we believe that the 8 years of the pendulum being in the south, in the north, means that the north has had their own choice. He said no, and in the ensuing argument, He gave 100 million to the PDP NWC that he's using that nomination form. When I went as part of an Ohanese delegation to the home of Mr. Ayocha Ayo in Maitama, Mr. Ayu told me that the money Atiku gave the party, the 100 million for form, the party is broke, and that's what the party is now using. There is no way we can do that. Anybody who wants us to cancel that has to replace that money. And there, the party had its deadlock. Later on, we started hearing stories. Atiku said it was Wike, and that if it's not Wike, that he will allow the thing to be zoned to the southeast. So we didn't agree. And that was how I started my internal campaigns in the PDP. I was also able to speak to a friend of mine who I had to on the Abiola Hope 93. He lived in Lukbeju, I lived in Ikeja. His name is Dr. Doinu Kukbe. And we agreed that we have to do certain presidency, but we didn't have a candidate. So I looked at different people, and Mr. Pius Anyim couldn't gain traction. Mr. Huabunwa is not a member of the party, just came.
You mean Samu
So it
Habunwa?
was just, yes, Mazo Huabunwa. He couldn't
Yes.
gain traction. So we were left with Peter Obi. When I first approached Peter Obi politely told me that he would not be able to challenge Atiku. He said Atiku was his principal. I wasn't happy, but I understood this is a principled gentleman who does not want to challenge his friend. And that was how we went back. But I got a lot of people appealing to me that I should not stop. I started visiting some elders in Abuja. I visited Chief SNO Keke Uchendo. I visited Okwadike Emeke Zife. And then I started visiting several places with several other people. I went with Barrister Godson Okoye to the home of Chief Chidolue Patnasonic Nabueni. And we started forming a network of people to try to now talk to Peter Obi.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we were able to beg Peter Obi to agree to run because we needed to have one of us on the ballot. So, and the time we now got that, we now took it public. And that was how the obedient movement was born.
Fine. All right, sir. So now we know all the story, and perhaps you've told us a couple of times here too. But let's get straight to the bone of contention, which is 2027. There's been a lot of tension around 2027, especially with the birth of the coalition right now. And people don't they worried. Say this coalition, some people don't talk. Say the only way to defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu now to make sure, say, waiting, everybody join body together. It wouldn't have been a problem. Some people think that it wouldn't have been a problem if, as a southerner, he remained in power. But because of the hardship, untold hardship, when the administration don't bring for Nigerians' body, there was the need to change him. Now, waiting they go on for the inner circle of the ADC right now. Because if you notice now, it be like say most of the people who they loyal to Atiku and Atiku Abubakar himself don't resign, leave the ADC. Now we also hear say from side though, we don't know whether that's true. Say even Atiku, they advise Peter Obi to also resign from Labour Party alongside. And on the other hand, a wing of the ADC, they threaten Peter Obi, say, if he ever leave ADC, he would have committed political suicide because he go down to leave too many party and that one go don't reign in reputation. So let's start with the internal wrangling, the internal begin where they go on inside the party. I don't know whether I could start with Atiku side or make we even go with the accusation of Dumebi Kachikwu because Dumebi now don't talk, say, waiting make the ADC chairmen collapse across Nigeria, resign, collapse their structure for the David Mark led ADC now because of say they offered them 20 million naira to resign from their position. So all the state chairmen, all of them get to resign because of the money we be say then offer them. Do you know about that and how true is it, sir?
What I would like to tell you is all those things are just rumors and rhetorics by children and people who don't know
So you think
nothing.
Dumebi is just angry and bitter?
What Dumebi, for all I know, it's a politician who, at a point in history, went to the ADC to become their presidential
Yes.
candidate. So it's like the way me and Peter went to the Labour Party. And I'm still grateful that they gave us a platform to market Peter. If a man gives you a platform to market you, when you finish, you can walk away. You don't own the party.
Mm. So
So,
waiting the
you don't
state
know, no,
chairman
you
do
talk.
or no do, not supposed consign them.
Well, you see, most people, they do different things for different reasons. For me, I would say, don't get too involved in what you don't understand its origin. Okay, if Dumebu ran, it's like the issue of Atiku Abubakar and the PDP. Now that the governors have come together and told him that they intend to zone to the south, he had no option than to leave the party. And as he's leaving, the people who are living with him are also his followers. If the party now zones to the south and then they have a platform and there's a candidate, the party refloats itself. And after this November, the party probably will make concessions of giving, say, Imo secretary. I take your Imo because he already has people who are there. The Mr. Waziri who left and followed Atiku from Yobe, it's because Mr. Damagun, who is from there, will probably also take control of the structures of the party. So these are the things. When you lose out, you could start making noise, but we understand. So if the PDP could concede to Anyanwu, okay, stay and serve at your term till November, and then they have a semblance of peace. You give some to get some. If also giving him the Oyago with your Imo, by November, Anyanwu is that. The governors will take over the party and start to rebuild the party and then do what they want the way they want it. No party is cast in gold or in stone. It's a periodic thing. It's a public property. You come, you use it, you move on. So
Okay.
just to show you, Atiku came in, he used the PDP. Now that things are, the governors have come, and I've told him we are going to zone the ticket of the party to the south. And that's why you see him move. So even if he now moved and called Peter to be there, the fundamental reasons why
No,
Peter
no,
will be
sir. No, no,
left.
no, 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 sir. Please help us repeat that. Are you saying the reason Atiku has now sent his resignation is because PDP is resolute? Then they make sure say they won't zone their candidate or presidential ticket to the south. Now, what's make him leave?
Yes, that is what happened. But it is nothing new. The
Okay.
PDP also did the same thing in 2019. They decided that as a way to solve that problem that made Atiku and the rest of the Northerners to go form MPDP,
In
that they would
2015.
in
Okay.
2015, that they will now zone the party's ticket to the south, I mean to the north. So they have done it before. Now they have seen that the reasons why the party became moribund and comatose is because the Southerners left. So they have decided and they've told Atiku that they are going to zone the party's ticket to the south. So Atiku has heard this, and that's why you see him left. He has left, and his followers has followed him. The party is still there. So I don't think these things. Sometimes you win some, you lose some. I
Okay.
don't see
So
any big thing in it.
So let me ask a question because people are wondering why was it easy for southern politicians to zone the candidacy to make an all northern primaries happen in 2019 in PDP? And why is it difficult for Atiku to understand that okay, this time is the time for at least we gave you opportunity during in 2019 and in 2023 you insisted we threw it open. Can you now let it be, go to the south? Why do you think it's difficult for him to accept that? If
In
what you're saying is correct.
in all fairness to Atiku, it didn't start with Atiku. It
Okay.
started in 1993 with Abiola. You will ask yourself, why is it difficult for some people in the north to concede to the south when it comes to the presidency? Babangida was president for up to 8 years. But when a Sultana won the president, people like David Mark said, if one Fremosu declares Abiola president, that him, David Mark, will shoot in the face dead. So, and you should understand that if those Northerners didn't want Abiola to take power, and then it resulted in June 12th. So, and now it got to the time of the presidential pendulum having been flown to the south and north, and then stayed in the north for 8 years. After 8 years, why is it difficult for the Northerners to find it easy for the presidential pendulum to now flow to the south? It is when they refuse for the presidential pendulum to now swing to the south that we now left the party for them and started the obedient movement. And that depleted the ranks of the party.
Why is it,
And
again,
the
that's the
party
question, why
fell.
is it difficult for them to also give up for Southerners to rule? That's a problem. And I think that these are fundamental questions that
Right.
Nigerians need answers to. We need to understand if South Gofi State say, okay, we don't do 80s, make we leave you, make you do this one. Then I remember that in Muhammad Buhari's administration, there was not much agitation in 2019 to take over power from him. In fact, the election was basically between him and Atiku. He's fellow Northerner. Because, of course, what people thought was his abysmal failure before the 2019 election. So, if Southerners did not agitate to take over power in 2019, since Northerner would have just done 4 years, why is it a problem for the Northerners to allow Southerners to complete an 8-year cycle before they continue? I'd like to understand that, sir. Do you have any, idea of why that happens?
I will be lying to your audience if I claim I know the answer to that riddle. I don't know. I don't know. It happened with Abiola. It's happening again. That's why when Atiku now called the meeting, called his people, and they said we should go do protest, Tinubu. We said no, we will not join you in Tinubu protest. You people put him there, and you people did the glitch, and you showed him the presidency. It's not our problem. They came again, they went to the street to do protest, and we refused. We mobilized our people, said, don't join this protest, this anti-Tinubu protest. It's not our business. So I think with time, they now start talking to Peter, start talking to people and say, we have to now do this, let's do alliance. As the alliance started, I told people who talked to me that the fundamental reason why we walked away from the PDP, which now resulted in the collapse of the opposition PDP, is because the Northerners, after 8 years of the presidential pendulum being in the north, are refusing for the pendulum to swing back to the south. And that's all. And for your information, the Northerners have a way to spend money to buy some Southern voices who will now start campaigning for them. Just like when we got that obedient movement moving. There were Southerners who met me, like Kenneth Okonkwo. I met him at Chelsea Hotel, Central Area, Abuja. But maybe he didn't know why we were congregating and the reason for the youth movement. So after the election, he was looking for some kind of gratification, either to be given a position in the Labour Party. Peter Obi just got himself disconnected from it. He said, Peter didn't help him to do this, to get that. And when he started talking about being paid money, I told him we are volunteers trying to do these things for the
Are you
future
insinuating that at
of our
some point
children.
Kenneth Okonkwo wanted money to work for the obedient movement?
Well, as you can see, there's no other reason he has left Peter to go to Atiku. Atiku spends dollars. Peter doesn't. He tells you I need to give shishi. We are volunteers, and when I'm doing this, what I did, I started from the PDP. It is for the sake of tomorrow. If in a pluralistic country like Nigeria, you do not allow the inclusion of a large segment of sin nepotism and say it's only the North that will rule, the South won't, as you can see. These people who have now left the CPC faction. A lot of the things they tolerated from President Buhari, they are not willing to tolerate it from President Tinubu.
Why?
So for you to understand, I don't know. This is, now that these things are coming up, you need to ask yourself, how do we sit down to understudy? Why? From the days of Abiola, are the Northerners not willing to share power with the Southerners? This is the problem. So I don't want to start pretending like I have all the answers to all the issues. This thing started with Abiola. It has not stayed here. Atiku told us in 2013 that inclusion through zoning is sacrosanct. That good luck this, good luck that, good luck Jonathan that, good luck Jonathan this. It is the turn of the North. He formed the MPDP, used that to build a coalition, and that was how Buhari became president. Buhari has now ruled for 8 years. It is not the turn of the North, South. No, he refused. First, you saw what happened to my friend Wike when they said, the mosque are preaching that nobody should vote for an Igbo man. Wike even now went into heritage acrobatics. I'm not Igbo, thinking that will get him to
But
accept
what
him
would have
for
led to
where?
the mosque
It didn't
preaching
work.
towards that direction?
Also, when Wike tried to, say he's not Igbo, thinking that will gain him acceptance, it didn't work. So you can now see where we are. We are now back to talking to the Northerners, and instead of all of us to face this real issue, no, they are telling us to come and fight with them in the mud and get involved with them in a dollarized primary. If Dele Momodu and co who are working for Atiku say that Wike spent up to $30,000 per delegate and Atiku still defeated him, that means it's a dollarized primary. We don't want to
Sorry,
get
sir. Are
into.
you saying that there is a possibility that Wike spent about $30,000 per delegate times the number of delegates that?
I didn't say so. It is the thing that Dele Momodu said that, and for him to say that, he must have heard from Atiku. So if Wike spent up to $30,000 per delegate and still lost it, I don't think that's what we want to do. It is the turn of the South. We want the parties and caucuses or alliances to treat the Southerners the same way the Northerners were treated. If we zoned it to the North and the Northerners now got their own time, 8 years, it is now the time of the South. And that's if they refuse to agree to zoning. Why I'm saying this? It is very important that we set these issues. If the Southerners are willing to accept things like quota system, where my son will need to get 320 to get into university, but somebody from the North will just get about 2% or 5% to get into university. Why is it difficult for the Southerners to allow us, the Northerners to allow us, the Southerners, gain inclusion? You can see some young people, there are Southerners who are paid to become the voice for Atiku Abubakar. They probably do not know the futuristic implementation of their fully. We are asking for inclusion. You cannot achieve nation building without inclusion of your partners. And this is where these things have very serious repercussions on a plurality society like Nigeria. If we're going to go forward on the Nigerian experiment, we must embrace inclusion. If we're not going to embrace it, we will have problem. So for me, there are no two ways. And I have told people, for us to move forward with what these people are saying, let us go to the roots of what caused the crisis, what not made me to start campaigning across the PDP forums, brought it out, then able to engage and then get somebody like P2B to head what we were doing, me and doing Ukukwe, and then the youth movement were born. You see, why I'm saying this, There are people who just joined us while we have already matured, without knowing what was the fundamental reason that gave rise to the formation of the obedient movement. That's
Okay. All right. Let's speak about the ADC right now. The
everything.
way forward for the ADC.
My
Uh,
bedroom.
the
The new one,
ADC.
big light.
The
Any of them too.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Yes, thank you.
I'm. Uh-huh.
So what is playing out with the ADC right now? Now that Atiku Abubakar has resigned, and we hear that there's perhaps a little bit of pressure for P2B to also resign and join him. What could be the way forward before we get to what P2B may do or it would likely do? What could be playing out with the ADC? Because I hear from the grapevine somehow gossip they carry and say some southern governors that have not decamped to APC, even some of them that are in APC, are already working with Atiku Abubakar on the side for corner corner, including some southeast governors. How true do you think this is? And if it is true, then where is the place of P2B in all of this?
Those things are lies. Don't believe all those things. The minute P2B settles on a platform, you will see that Atiku's gambit will just crash. Don't deceive yourself. Don't listen to their stories. The fundamental argument is the inclusion of the southern part of Nigeria in the governance of Nigeria. There are no two ways about it. Okay? So, whatever platform it is that P2B decides on, people will come and move on. Forget Atiku. We just have to work with him so that he can start getting ready to go and spend time with his grandchildren. It is not proper. What are we? We didn't form the obedient movement to make Paul Biya president at 80 years. It doesn't work that way, please. People should understand that this is about nation building. I don't know. And who are you talking about? What is a rush? These are the same people that formed the APC. You form APC, and Northerner will root for 8 years. You run away from APC, come and that place, they give you ticket. What for? You want to take advantage of the fraudulent decrees that the soldiers did? No. Let us go to the field. Let us go to the field. They say they had everything, but once the Electoral Act was signed and we knew you now have to go through biometric authentication before you can vote. That was why those phantom numbers didn't come again from the north. So forget about Atiku. We have come to the end of an era. Yesterday, when Atiku left the PDP, there was jubilation all over the PDP. So let him have convention in November. The governors take charge of the party. I believe they can start to rebuild. If they zone to the south, you will see what will happen. It will also affect different other political platforms. Now that the presidency has been in the south for only 2 years, why do you want to take it back? Why do you want to take it back to the north? What for? For who? For who? For a clean candidate? Atiku? No, come on. Don't kid yourself. We are
Okay, so
talking about nation building.
So there are some political calculations going on. If you think or if you're saying right now by what you're saying, it means that P2B may likely run solo. There is also fear of whether or not P2B can actually achieve anything or achieve even half of the milestone he achieved in 2023 if he runs solo. This is because looking at the election results of 2023, right? A lot of people think, say, plenty people no vote for P2B for inside northern Nigeria. And now waiting not don't they use hold on. Now remember, say, I see not attend Buhari burial that day, not on the reason they use and threaten. Say we go come for you for not attending Buhari burial. We go come for you. When it reaches time, make it come meet us. Some other people come they tell them to say for make it no try to leave ADC. Make it rather sit down for inside ADC so that it go fit match Atiku strength. Rather making gather coalition, making that is galvanize people, gather people, build alliances within the ADC. Do you think that there is any form of alliance that P2B will build in ADC that would give him the ticket ahead of Atiku Abubakar?
Please forget the ADC. The ADC is the scam. The ADC is dead on
Why do you
arrival.
say so, sir?
When I tell you it's dead on it, of course I know so now because it was not premised to be a Nigerian political party. It was just a contrived, you know, uh, article sorted for article to now say he wants to run. It doesn't mean we're talking about nation building. No one man can make himself president. It doesn't work that way. Now that P2B has said he will not join it because of what it is. You've not even joined. Come. We will do primary to what? The fundamental reasons why we left the PDP has not faded away. So whether we met in the PDP to negotiate on how to unite, or we meet in the APC, or we meet on a different platform, which you call an alliance, the fundamental reason for the implosion of the opposition is people led by Atiku Abubakar are refusing that the presidential pendulum, after being in the north for 8 years, they are refusing it to swing to the south for 8 years again. That is all. Don't get deceived by people who don't understand. Most of the people you see making noise are not politicians. They are not politicians. It is good that you can use money to buy certain voices. They don't make nothing and they'll be talking for you. They are not, they don't know what the story is. I am just telling you what it is. P2B has run on a no governors party without anything, and he got 6 million votes
Do
plus.
you think he can get that
Atiku
again?
ran.
That's a question.
He will get
Because
more. He will
you
get more, please. Don't listen. Don't ask me questions of what you rhetoric people don't know. I was there from the beginning to the end. And if we could achieve what we achieved in 8 months, we have more time. Forget the noise. Forget all. Why is it everybody P2B? Is P2B the only human being in Nigeria? There is something they see in him. There is something they see in him that worries them. P2B was in Katsina for the burial of President Buhari. And when they asked him, why didn't you come yesterday? Just like Kwankwaso didn't come the day before. Shekara didn't come the day before. A lot of people didn't come
So
the day
what was the
before.
noise about
He
P2B
said,
alone?
I couldn't get. He said, because P2B is the latest thing for everybody. He frightens. He is very popular. That's a way you get big. Your aura frightens people who don't mean well. So leave those issues alone. P2B, I don't know the magic he has that everybody has him on their lips. I don't know. I don't know. I am not a soothsayer. I cannot say. Everybody knows why something frightens them. The man went to see Buhari. The pictures exist. He saw the family, he saw the Buharis, and he met them. So I don't understand the noise. Did he kill the man? No. When Sheikh Shagari died, did Buhari go? No. What are you talking? I don't understand all this noise. So leave those issues. These are just small boys who want to talk and make noise. A man has come for burial. In my place, when you have a burial, the day of the burial is one. Outing Sunday is another thing. That period of mourning, people come from all walks of
All
life
walks of life.
to go visit family.
Gradually.
That's what it is. If the man didn't come to my house today to commiserate, he comes tomorrow and he says sorry. We will still receive him because after interment, families see to continue to receive visitors. That's how it happens. Are they going to quarrel with all the countries that never sent a single emissary? What
Oh
are you
wow.
talking?
But why do you think that no world leader so far has commiserated with Nigeria on the death of President Muhammadu Buhari? Because that's something that worries a lot of people.
I am not a magician. So please, don't ask me such questions. I don't know such things.
Okay, sir.
Every president has reasons why they make decisions on what to do or what not to do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, so moving on with what Peter Obi must do, what do you think Peter Obi is going to do? Do you think he rather stays back in ADC and form alliances so that he can wrestle the primaries alongside Atiku Abubakar, or he leaves ADC to wherever he can, and then we still have the three horse race that we had earlier, which a lot of people are afraid that may just eventually give President Bola Tinubu a leeway to winning already, if that happens.
That is not true. I think what magic does anyone has. When the people who are now working with Atiku were in power, They know what they did. And when we ask them, why did you not announce it? It says glitch. They know what it is. If they could do glitch when they were in power, who told you that Tinubu won't do glitches if in power? Leave all those people who make noise. Where was Atiku in 2019 when the election was, done the way it was done? He ran away to Dubai. Tell me, I say he was mentioned as second person with all the glitch and everything. What did he do? Nothing. Forget the noise, please. We're talking about nation building. The most fundamental issue in this particular game is that the presidential pendulum swings between the north and the south. It has been in the north through President Buhari. After him, it's supposed to come to the south. And some people in the north say they won't agree. Let me ask a question. Will anybody tolerate these people who want to succeed Buhari? Will they tolerate that Tinubu rules for 8 years like Buhari, and then another man from Southwest will not start campaigning to succeed Tinubu? If you cannot tolerate it with Tinubu, why do you want us to tolerate it with you and Buhari? Understand what this game is. There are some job men who just come there, you hire them, they go talk for you, go on TV. They don't understand the fundamental nitty-gritty of the question. We want to get to power. We are trying to set standards between the North and the South that our children will inherit. We are making arguments about inclusion. We know the military have done a lot of mess to the country and handed us a manual, which they said is a constitution. We have gotten to a point in our country's history where President Buhari embraced nepotism and used this as an official policy of state. Of course, Tinubu is continuing in that state in some way, and that's why you're seeing the CPC faction say they won't tolerate from President Tinubu what
Good.
they tolerated from President Buhari.
All right.
We have a lot of, so these are the kind of things we know are wrong about nation building. Just like President Obasanjo said, the constitution can be managed as it is. The problem are the operators. I condemn nepotism the way it is being applied by President Buhari and President Tinubu. I seek a country where the aspirations of our pluralistic society and our diverse heterogeneous country is included in anything that those who govern do. That's what we're doing. The essence of obedient movement is to force inclusion of our diverse population in the governance of our country. That's all we're saying. How do you want you campaign for zoning? You now manage through your efforts, Buhari became president. After 8 years of Buhari, you now refuse that the zoning should not favor the Southerners. I don't understand these things. So when you see all those boys who don't understand, they are intellectually challenged. They don't understand the question. This is the crux of the question. This is the reason I started my campaigns inside the PDP. This is the reason I did all those things that gave birth to the Biden movement. And I serve Peter Obi as a special advisor on public affairs. And this is what it
So, sir,
is. So those who don't understand the argument
but do
don't
you
understand.
think if, just like somebody asked here, do you think if the ADC threw its primaries open and not an indirect primaries, they have an open direct primary system, do you think P2B would stand better chance if that happened?
Yes, yes, Peter, every chance, zone it to the south, to the southerners. There's no problem with that. Zone it to the south and have primaries in the south. There's no problem about that.
So
If
the
you
issue
do a
is
big
zoning.
primary now,
Is it that there is a set, kind of lack of confidence if it is not zoned to the south?
listen to me, that's not it. We want to return back to the original reason why I started campaigns in the PDP, which led to the creation of the BDM movement.
But
Simple.
this is the ADC. This is the ADC, and the reason I'm asking is that there are some people that have the permutation
Listen to me.
that.
Stop. Let's stop throwing words. Whether it is the ADC, whether it is the CPC, whether it is inside the PDP, the fundamental problem that brought the implosion of the opposition to
Zoning.
make us go our separate ways is the
Zoning. Okay.
zoning. So whether you bring us back into ADC, you bring us back into CPC, have you agreed to respect inclusion through zoning? If you say yes, no problem. If you say no, I will tell you that the ADC is a scam. It's a scam. Because of the desperation of Atiku Abubakar, they will get in the mud. We don't want that. Zone it to the south, as we zoned to the north in 2019. That is what the governors have now told him, that they will zone to the south. That's why you see him leaving the APC.
So
If the
do you
governors
do
now
you
do
believe
the
like
I mean, that's why you see him leaving the
yeah?
PDP. That is what it is.
So do you
Nothing
believe
else.
that like
Atiku's
Dumebi
leave.
Kachikwu has said that Atiku does not have any mindset to have a southern presidency, and that's why he's leaving the PDP? That's what Dumebi said. That he doesn't believe in southern presidency.
That is the
Oh,
truth. That is the truth. What you see us doing now is his supporters were saying it is wicked. It is wicked. It's wicked that say no. Okay, fine. Zone it now to the south. Wike is not involved now in the argument. Okay, it's no more Wike. Zone it to the south. Show you a statesman. Show you are a statesman. What? I don't know. This is a simple issue. It is not to go there and start dancing in the mud with anybody. No. Zone it to the south, and we can have a southern primaries. Finish.
okay. So
You will not, after the Northerners have ruled for 8 years, you say we should start struggling with them again. It doesn't work
okay,
that
so
way
going
now.
back to zoning into the south, why it be like say, make I come down to the pidgin English I'm supposed to be speak before. Why it be like say there is certain unwritten rules say southeast no fit get presidency for Nigeria. Some people don't insinuate that before. Shawari don't insinuate them. And across social media and all that, people don't dey talk and say no matter what an Igbo man do, he no go fit get the presidency. And that is why it is hard and difficult for AP to be, not because he's not a good person, not because he's not a good candidate. Do you believe it? Do you believe that?
I don't believe that. That is not true. You saw the result of the election. Peter did fantastically well, beating everybody in Lagos, beating everybody in Abuja. So an Igbo man is electable. So that's just rhetorics by unintelligently informed persons. It doesn't mean nothing. If we are to sustain the Nigerian experiment, we must agree in the inclusion of all parts of Nigeria. If you don't agree, you're setting, protocols for dismemberment of the country. That's all. Nobody owns this country. It belongs to all of us. Okay? So I don't think my state has the country's largest deposit, Africa's largest single deposit of gas. Are you going to now kill all of us and seize the gas by force? It's not going to work. So all of us are part and parcel of this Nigerian experiment. Let nobody think the country belongs to them alone. No, Atiku, after all, became a Nigerian in 1961 when British Cameroon, through the British plebiscite, brought in the Sadana province in Cameroon into Nigeria. That was how Atiku became a Nigerian. So if he's been a Nigerian, he's been this blessed, why will he refuse the inclusion of other Nigerians in nation building? That thing is nonsense. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Okay, so there is also a
Pushing
part
one from
of
noise.
northerners that, sorry, a part of northerners that we hear, these are permutations rather, that say they believe, say, if anything happened, the ADC make, zone to the south and get a southern candidate, that means originally Tinubu is going to win the election because he will take back most of those votes he already got in 2023, and then he would also take Atiku's block votes in 2023. How possible is it that with the kind of anger where be say they say nothing as the vex now, they go still come vote Tinubu, assuming say ADC zone to the south? How possible it be?
Those are words by people who are not part of this discussion. So I think you should just ignore them and don't allow such nonsense get into your mind. We are discussing issues of nation building. Please forget all these people. Let them agree that all parts of Nigeria should have access to the governance of the country. That's what we're saying. When they refused in 2022, we left the PDP. Now they say, come, let us make peace. This didn't start today. They say, come together. Let us go and protest against Tinubu. We say we won't come and protest against you with Tinubu. You caused it. They did it several times. We refused. Now they have come say, okay, let us sit down and do alliance. We
Oh,
said,
so
fine, let's do
they wanted
alliance.
Southerners to join
But
them to protest
don't
against
forget
Tinubu.
the problem. That was why you saw those protests, those anti-Tinubu
Oh,
protests, and you saw that the East didn't join them. This is the reason. So now you finally say, okay, come, let us now plot how to do politics to remove Tinubu. And you want the advantage only for yourself. So we're now reminding you the reasons why we abandoned you in the PDP and the PDP collapsed is that you refused the presidential pendulum that had been in the north for 8 years to now swing to the south. That's why we left the PDP. If you now want us to come back together, allow inclusion of Southerners in the scheme of things. Some of us are not going to go the way of Wiki to say, I'll bring down the house since you're treating us this way. No, we're doing it by telling them intelligently. It's a simple intellectual argument. So Atiku thinks he can use his money and buy everybody in the South. It's not going to work. That is not true. That is not true. Let us lay this is just take it from me. This is going to be a fundamental point of agreement or disagreements in our national history. Why is it that some people in the north are not comfortable with allowing the Southerners to also have access to the presidential power? It's as simple as that. It didn't start today. It started in 1993 when people like David Mark said, if Humphrey Nwosu declares Abiola president, that he will shoot Abiola to death. David Mark is among the ADC story people. So I don't think these things have changed. If it has come back now again, and we are still having the same arguments, after 8 years of Buhari, something is wrong. It's not a small issue. Something is wrong. You know, those who just came to join us in the movement who don't understand, I'm taking time now to explain to them the reasons why I started my protest in the PDP together with Dr. Kupe. Because I worked with Dr. Kupe on the Bukola Saraki presidential campaign team. But in 2019, when Bukola didn't win, we joined the Atiku Obi team. When it now finished and Buhari finished, what we now said was, leave that issue. Since the North has gone for 2 terms, it is now the turn of the South. And when I was doing this, I had no candidate. I remember some elders called me, say, what are you doing, Kachi? You don't have to say I will find a candidate. And to be honest, when I met Peter first, he refused. But as we continued and we got more people to put pressure on him, Peter agreed. And that was how the
all right,
obedient
sir. So
movement was
now,
born. And this is when people started
what
entering.
is Peter Obi's fate in 2027? Yunus Atanko, the head of the obedient movement, has said and insisted that Peter Obi is going to be in the ballot. Now, what do you think his fate will be?
Is there any law that
No,
stops him
because of
from
the
being in the
issues with
balance?
the different political parties. PDP is also with its own issue. The Wike issue is still there. Wike, do you see a Wike who has promised to ensure that he would lead the campaign for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, allow PDP to function effectively for a Peter Obi to contest under? That's one. And secondly, the Labour Party is also a fundamental issue. Why you think say go con dey safe like this for Peter Obi to contest? Where he be say chukuchuku no go dey road for her? How possible it could be
There
safe?
are there are more than 20 dormant parties across the country. The issue of purchasing a platform is an easy issue. You're talking to me, telling me about money that changed hands, and that was how the ADC will let go. Such money can also change hand and another platform will be sought. What we are talking is, when is it possible that after the Southerners support a Northerner to power, that it's also okay for a Northerner to find it in himself to support Southerners to power? Very simple as that. This have started from
They
the
will tell you
Abiola
they
days.
supported the Buhari. They'll tell you they supported the Tinubu to power in 2023 because without
Well,
Northerners, he wouldn't have won. That's what they
that
would
is
say.
not true. That is not true. That is not true. They annulled the election, then they wrote something else, and Tinubu told them plain that the issue of June 12th was when a Southerner, Abiola, won election. It was annulled. You should have found another Southerner and given it to, not to not give the advantage to a Northerner who's Abacha. And that was how the Southerners came together, from Ezife to Commodore Kano to everybody that joined from the Southwest, and they formed Nadeku. They formed Nadeku. So that Nadeku, you don't want it to replace itself. And Tinubu told them, give it to me. I'm from the South. I can do that. That's they gave him. But they didn't dash it to him. They sold it to him. And that's what he said. So that's why if you come back to him, he said, what is it? Do I owe you? I paid you off. And they don't like the tone. And they get
No,
angry. And they are
no.
living
So
the secrecy.
are you saying President Bola Ahmed Tinubu bought the position of the presidency in 2023 and didn't win
He
it via
said it with his mouth. President Tinubu said that he bought it with his money. He said it. It's on record. He said he bought it with his money. So when he said he bought it with his money, those people that he paid, which he has receipts and records for, they have no right to come harassing him. They've sold whatever they sold. And he said, why are you coming to harass me? I paid you off. They get upset. They are decamping. So please, I don't think the presidency that has been in the South for 2 years, P2B will not be used to remove it from the South. To give it to who? To give it to who? So you keep it P2B politically, because historically, no Nigerian has survived the vice presidency. The vice presidency is a slaughterhouse. The minute you're a vice president, you're gone. Where's Osibanjo? Look at the fate of Shetima. Who survived it? Good luck was only lucky because of the doctrine of necessity. Atiku has not healed himself from it. So let us be very, very clear about where we're going to. Nigeria, my dear, belongs to all of us.
Okay.
Nobody is going to succeed by dominating
All
me.
right. So let's look at the alliance within the Southerners.
Stop him from making
Um,
noise. Immediately.
let's look at the alliance within the
I'll
South
take them to that room.
generally, and let's start with the Southeast. Now, one would have thought that ordinarily the Southeast would have had each other's back, especially seeing that they have a star boy amongst them who is a Peter Obi. That I mean, if there's anybody who would want to campaign for his success or anything, it should have been his state general and including all politicians within his state. But it looks like Peter Obi don't face the most opposition when goes for within his state. Now, remember, say recently when Peter Obi been getting an interview, when they ask him about Sabla breweries, where he say in build for inside Anambra State. In talk say, oh, say that breweries where they say I build. Say now be the highest revenue generating private company or state-owned company right now for inside Anambra State. And to rebut him or to perhaps fact check him, Soludo, I mean, the government of Anambra State generally released a statement today trying to fact check P2B and to deny that what he did is what he said is correct or whether or not it's correct. Now, here it is. And by this fact checking, Anambra State government posted this and said that internally, Anambra State Internal Revenue Service debunks P2B's false claims on Sab Miller being the highest tax paying payer in Anambra State. And when he released its records, the top five taxpayers or revenue generating agencies, as it were, or revenue generating companies, were all banks. The next after them is Sab Miller. And the other banks do not have their headquarters in Anambra State. There are companies that are not original to Anambra State. Some people are saying that, wait, in the process of trying to debunk your brother, it don't prove I'm right. Because these banks then get their headquarters elsewhere. The owners, they know be Anambra State people then. So you don't want to con debunk them now, tell and saying they lie, but you don't end up shooting yourself in the leg. What would you say is the reason for that? I don't want to say subtle hatred or bitterness between Anambra top politicians and P2B himself and other southeast politicians. Why are they not galvanizing around P2B? Like you see the north, gather around each other.
I am not surprised. I call it, peer competition. I saw it in 2022 when I started working and going around trying to talk to people that I want to build an alliance for us to support P2B. The biggest set of human beings in Nigeria who sat me down to warn me that I will regret what I'm doing with Peter were people from Anambra State. So, and when I got home, once I told my wife, I said, look at what these people keep telling me. She said, most of them are his age mates. Most of them are his competitors. So I laughed. And I told myself, because I'm not from Anambra State, I don't share their sentiments towards him. And I didn't stop. When I dealt with Peter, he wasn't paying me anything. I never asked him for anything, and he was there. He listens to what I say more than most people. And one day I asked him, I said, why don't you get upset when I argue with you, when I shout and told you, no, 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 no. Why do you keep saying, because you don't tell me no. If you don't tell me yes, if you were a yes, man, I don't need you. When Peter begged me, said, please don't talk to me about challenging my principle, and he was meaning Atiku, I laughed. I didn't get angry. I didn't. I knew this was an honest Catholic gentleman, probably trying to show gratitude to Atiku's friendship. But I didn't stop. I went to Chief Ezife's house. We started holding meeting with a lot of Igbo people. I went to Chief SNOKK's house. We started holding meeting there. And later went with other people to Chief Nabwe Pat Chidolo's house. What Chidolo told me, said, Katch, are you sure? Peter will never run against Atiku. Don't tell me, you don't know what you're talking. I persisted. I did persist. At the end of the day, Peter did go. Now, those things are not problems. The Bible says a prophet is not recognized at home. It is true. So I don't mind. There were Igbo leaders who even, when they called a meeting headed by Chief Iwanyango at Rockview Hotel, I got there. But before I entered the meeting hall of Ohaneze, he called the Ohaneze Business Roundtable, Peter, I had a lengthy discussion with Peter at the car park before, because he was driving to Lagos, and he told me certain things, and I went into the meeting. Most of them were telling me, what are you doing? Why are you trying to deceive Peter? Why did this? You don't have structure. This thing you're doing. But I have my own thoughts. I have my own thoughts. And that's why I told you before. I'm grateful for certain people like Chief Modo, Nzeozichukwu, who supported my position. And that forced Chief Iwanyango to say, let us calm down and give it 3 months and we'll come to review. That was how they did not that day throw Peter over the board and then do endorsement of Atiku. That's what it is. And some of them met me outside. I say, what are you doing? Why are you deceiving him? You don't have structure. But I had a different way I could see things. Whether it is, whatever anybody says, I am very proud of what we achieved, because we were quite a lot of people, Igbo
So it doesn't
leaders
matter
from
whether the government
everywhere,
supports it or
those who
not.
believed in it. No, it doesn't matter. What about, look, the people who were talking to me were a lot of senior citizens that I respect, some former governors, some sitting senators, some big people. And they say, why are you doing this? Why are you deceiving him? It was me and Doyin that started in the PDP. By the time we got out, the thing took a
But
life
Doyin
of its
left.
own.
Doyin
So
left and started not
don't
speaking so
be,
well about P2B after he left.
no. Doyin left because the government came on Doyin. and then sentenced him in court for monies he collected from the NSA in dollar and went to change. And they say it was an offense that he took money more than 5 million naira in foreign currency, and for that he was convicted. And later on, I sat with him and said, Omoba, what is the problem? He said they're even threatening to even bring other rules. When you work with the government at the presidency, a lot of rules are broken. So when they now want to start interrogating you, they will find a lot of things that you did while in active, honest service. Not that you Doyin stole money. Did not. Not Doyin didn't misappropriate public funds. Doyin was convicted that he received money from the NSA, which he needed to pay his staff. And that by receiving such amount of money in foreign currency, that it was against the law. And they quickly got a judge who sentenced him. And that is it. So they came back to him, and he was that's why you saw him
So are
now
you saying
slip
that the
away.
Tinubu's administration used states
Well,
forces against Dumebi to succumb and take, back to their chair?
the state, if the state comes after you, the state will do anything they want to do. I think I am lucky. I think I am blessed. And I thank my God for protecting me all this long, because I know some of the things I do in Nigeria, if some people do 5% of them, they'll be in trouble. But I believe that there's a purpose for my life. Look at me. Nobody started protesting the PDP, managed to get a
All right.
candidate
So,
to follow me,
mm.
and we built the most formidable political organic group in
All
our
right.
country's history. That is it. And nobody knows about this apart from what I'm telling you now. This is how these
So
things
let's
are.
speak. Let's speak to again. Still looking at what P2B's possible future would be like. Political future would be. Let's look at the unity of the North and their, directionness. If I would have to use that term, directionness. I don't know if you watched the recent interview by Buba Galadima, how he exposed the mission of Buhari to democratic presidency, that they deliberately earmarked him to be democratic president for one purpose, because it looked at that time like the Southwest was keeping quiet about the takeover, possible takeover or take back of um Ilorin Kwara State from Fulanese back to the Yoruba origins or Yoruba original owners. So because of that, that it was a bit too much for the Fulanis to handle. And they needed somebody to speak on their behalf and to stop that. And that's why they encouraged Buhari to get into politics. And politics wasn't his thing at all. He said it on national television. I can play it. I'm sure you've read it before. So there's no going back with that. So that's why they brought him into politics, and that for all he cares, Buhari achieved that aim. So the reason I brought this conversation up, Northerners, when they enter inside politics, then get direction and they focus on that direction.
I'm still
Waiting be
busy.
the,
I told you.
sorry, sir. What's in be the, I'm so sorry for the troubles. What is the direction of
Are
Southerners, and
you
especially
there? Can
Southeasterners?
you
I
hear
am here,
me?
sir. I can hear you, sir. I can hear you, sir. So now
Go
that we
on.
know that it is obvious that Southerners have a direction in politics and they have, a
Go
movement,
on. I'm listening.
what is the direction of Southeasterners in politics, sir? Hello, sir, can you hear me? What would you say is a, what would you
I can't
say?
hear you.
Yes, I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you, sir.
me?
What would you say is the direction? I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Oh dear. I think that call interrupted. Maybe you need to leave and join back again. Can you hear me, sir?
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you,
I
yes.
cannot hear you. Speak.
So you
Can you hear
leave,
me?
I
I
can hear
can't
you.
hear
I
you.
can. So kindly leave and come back again, please. Kindly leave and come back again. You have to leave and rejoin again. But at the meantime, let me quickly get that video on Buba Galadima so that we'll put a perspective to the conversation, make it not be like saying in my mouth on a year. Say the sillies I don't want person see. Now Python it become. So let me quickly see if I can get it on and play it
I
for
can't
us
hear
to
you.
kindly
What's going on?
leave and rejoin, sir. Please, if you can, leave and rejoin the show. Please,
It's
sir.
okay.
Um,
What's
please, sir.
wrong with this? Yeah.
I think you need to leave and rejoin again. Please, sir. All right. So at the meantime, let me see if I can play that video so that we can refresh our minds in this particular conversation because it's very important that we put things into perspective. Kindly bear with me while I try to source the video out and then get it ready as soon as possible. All right, so Buba Galadima had said this earlier in the week, on Tuesday precisely, the day President Muhammad Buhari was buried. And I think it was a bit brushed off, and people just didn't pay attention to that conversation at all. But I thought that it is something we should pay attention to. Can you hear me, sir?
Hear you now.
Can
Shoot.
you hear me now, sir? Can you hear me now,
Very,
sir?
very excellently well.
All right. So I was saying
I can
that
hear you. Yes, I'm
based
fine.
on following the interview by Buba Galadima on Arise Television and the confessions he made about how they brought Buhari into power, to forestall the anti-Fulani agenda in Ilorin or the Yoruba people taking back their town, as it were. It shows that the North is focused in politics. What would you say the focus of the South is in politics?
What you're talking about is about settler colonialism. The undoing it is inevitable. The time has come to undo it. There's what is wrong with it? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you crystal clear. Crystal clear. I can hear you, sir. I can hear you. I can hear
Good.
you.
To me, you're talking
Okay.
about settler colonialism
Oh, wow.
and the fear of the Fulani that it could be rolled back. It has just been rolled back in Adamawa, where the governor removed a lot of indigenous populations that have been campaigning for the past 120 years from being under the Fulani Emirates. Very simple. The way it was done, so as to bring it in line with what also happened in the Bachama area, where the Hama Bachama is situated today as a traditional ruler of the indigenous people. The Batie, the Margi, the Lugana, and quite even including the Chamba, have now been removed from being under the control of the Fulani Lamido of Adamawa. That's what they were talking about. But you see, nothing lasts forever. Now that the British rule has ended and we're in a democracy, copying what happened exactly in Adamawa can also happen in Kwara State. And you just make the emir to just be emir over Fulani people, and then you create for the Yorubas an Oniloni of Iloni. Simple. There's nothing big in it. You don't have to remove
But, but,
the
but, but, the,
emir.
but the question where a lot of people go ask now, say, why it be say it go be a problem for Fulani politicians, say the original owners of a land will like take back their land? Why it will be a problem?
It's a problem
This
because
now, this now, we say
it
common
is
man
a
go ask.
problem.
Mm.
It's a problem because the Fulani have a strategy of achieving settler colonialism. You come, you settle in a place, you colonize the people, and you start. And they did it over Hausas. You see, all across Hausa land, apart from the Emirates of Daura to Anka, no other place in Hausa land you have an Hausa man who is emir. And that's what you're seeing. They have now used that to try to blanket the political leadership in Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, and even Kano. Even though Hausas are bad, from in some states 82 to 85 to in places 92% of the populations in Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kano. But the Fulanis dominate. So with the democracy, you're going to see a progressive approach to mimic what has happened in Adamawa State. The governor, by the way, is Marigi. And this has been on for over 120, so that all the Batie, the Laguna, people like the Chamba, Atiku's people, they will now move out and then own their own private chiefdoms. They don't have to be under the Fulanese rule. It can happen everywhere. So this is democracy. But for it to happen, you need to have, like in Adamawa, an indigenous person who is governor. He will now use the executive powers of the governor because the governors have total powers over the chieftaincy institutions of the state. Actually, in the states, the chieftaincy institutions are beneath the local government chairman. That's why every time they remove a traditional ruler, instructions are given to the local government chairman. The local government chairman reports to the commissioner of local government affairs. The commissioner reports to the governor. This is how it is. But now that the British have gone and the Fulani stayed behind, they are trying to use the traditional institutions to now continue to dominate the indigenous people through what I call settler colonialism. Settler colonialism did not work in South Africa, it didn't work in Namibia, it did not work in Zimbabwe, it didn't work in Mozambique. It's not going to work in Nigeria. And this is what it is. So once the governors start and once democracy becomes free and fair, you will see indigenous people able to vote through numbers their indigenous sons. That's what will happen. And once that happens, like you have in Adamawa, the indigenous son will now rearrange these issues in a way that if you have the Fulani man, leave them there, but let the Fulani man be over the Fulanis.
So
If the emir,
taking these to politics, how
yes,
do
go
you
on.
think the South, especially the Southeast, can be more focused in politics?
The Southeast is now woken up. You could see what happened with P2B. The Igbos were united no matter where they are. The Southeast are very, very focused. But of course, you also have in every dozen Ejidas. There is nothing wrong with some Igbos to be focused on the money. It's not because the country is not totally free yet. So that's why you see somebody can just do this. Please don't tell me, because the people at the top will always use the powers of state capture to coerce things to their advantage. Let me just take the money and do what they want. But I'm telling you, the country is changing. And because the country is changing, that's why we're discussing about all these frictions. For us to now have the capacity and the wherewithal to demand equality with the North in terms of presidential politics. It didn't happen before. Who are you to make noise when the soldiers were here? So now we're beginning to demand that the presidential pendulum swings to the north the way it swings to the south. That is what is at the head of this disagreement. But that does not mean that people with cash in the north cannot find southern voices to buy, and those voices will be going on television to be talking what they don't know. I'm a song. The reasons why I started my agitation inside the PDP and had that agitation through my different conferences with different leaders whom I have called their names. They are all still alive today. We came together and put pressure, and I was happy to agree to run against Atiku. That's all. And then, as they say, the rest is history. The rest is history.
Okay. All right, sir. So, going back to Peter Obi, your candidate. I mean, I cannot ask you about any other candidates because he is your candidate. Going back to Peter Obi, your candidate. People they talk say, it be like say there is sort of smear campaign right now against Peter Obi from different angles. It be like say the thing they fire them from different angles, different places, and all that. Waiting be the team we be say on they do to fortify the team or media team of P2B to make sure say on a feel begin give back those people with the try to bring those dirty campaigns about and back. Because for instance, this thing where Soludo posts today now, instead of people to look at the truth behind what Soludo has said, that if you analyze it, Peter Obi did not lie because Sebla remains the only indigenous company that is the highest revenue generating company. Rather, they come look and say, they begin call him Mr. Liar. So, things like that. And you know that when rumor or when lies fester out, go around for too long, it will become true. So waiting on that they do within on our obedient camp or the camp that you are in charge of to ensure that you guys handle such fake stories or such issues about them in a way where it be say no go ruin in reputation or image.
I will advise you not to drink Panadol over P2B's headache. Those things do not stick. We've been through this before. What you're seeing now is nothing compared to what we saw during the days of the 8 months preceding the presidential election. They don't stick. You rightly said it now. Uh, he had now brought papers, and what he saw are companies from Lagos, companies based in Lagos. You now are the one telling me that Peter said, but Sab Miller is the biggest indigenous company in Anambra that contributes to the SAPA. So you have said it yourself. It's not everything during that campaign that we go to, react to. Most of those people who are calling Peter's name actually promote Peter. So leave those. Don't worry. Don't drink Panadol over Peter's headache, please. A lot of things they throw on him, they don't stick because Nigerians now have access to the internet and they can cross-check a lot of things. Imagine what you've just said, Soludo published, and then people look at it. Those people know BMO. These are Lagos companies, but the largest indigenous company that employs people in the state that contribute to the state copper is Sab Miller. I don't need to start talking about it. People will do it themselves. That's why I will advise you, don't drink Panadol over another man's headache. Right. Peter Obi, they throw him stones, it doesn't stick. So why should I go worry myself about it? Think about other things, please. Let's discuss serious issues.
Okay, and I also gather that you may not want to reveal more as per which party will be single contest under. That one time go reveal Amabi because it been done talk.
And that one about, listen, the issues about platform and Peter is not to do with Peter. It has to do with discussing with several stakeholders all across the country. The campaign wasn't run alone by Peter. There were interested parties. People like T.Y. Danjuma, people like Obasanjo. There were a lot of other statesmen who are interested. Yes. So these are when we had a symposium at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, it was Obasanjo that put it together. And there, Tonkpera came. Obiozo was still there. That was actually the last public outing that I had, sitting on the same table with Okwadike Emeke Zife. That was it. And after that, his health went down and we lost him. And then we all went to celebrate his life at Ibuku. So I will want to ask you, please don't worry yourself about Peter Obi. Those things don't stick. They don't stick. They don't stick. The reason for the obedient movement, I restate, is to force inclusion of our diverse populations in this pluralistic Nigeria, in governance of Nigeria. We are a plural society, and that's a need to carry everybody along. So I don't know the reasons why Atiku don't want the people from the South to be part of what's going on in governance. I also want to believe he's not alone. He's not alone. He didn't start today. It started from the time of Abiola, so he's not alone. Let us not overflog it. Now that it has become an issue, we will sit down as intelligent people and we'll try to see how we can resolve it. It's a very simple
so
issue.
Before I open the phone lines, because Nigerians are itching to join in on the conversation, they get plenty of questions to ask you. But before I open the conversation, the last time we met you talk here, we touched on security issues, and that was after the very horrendous attack for inside Yelwata for Benue State. And as we talk, another very deadly attack happened again for inside Plateau State. Day before yesterday, and it's about same old stories. See, fingers still point at one particular direction. And what is going on? How is it that this government or democratic government generally for Nigeria don't become so weak to the people then when they commit all this crime? And waiting the people they must do to protect themselves?
Well, different people have made different suggestions, and the government has now put into motion protocols for public hearing by the Senate going around the country. And part of what's in it is state police. If the federal security architecture has been compromised, maybe the people should now seek protocols to protect themselves. The difference between Amotekun and what Mr. Kano was trying to do with ESN is that Amotekun had an enabling law that backed it up. Mr. Kano didn't have a law that back to what he was
And
doing, even though two of them were doing the same
he's
thing.
facing terrorism
They were
charges now
trying
because
to,
of that.
on their own.
Yes, in they face terrorism charges now because of that.
Listen, we understand all this issue. You have civilian jails. You have a motokun in the southwest. So if you have ESN here and it's not backed by law, it is because the governors have not find the courage to make a law like the governors in the southwest made a law. Once you make a law, then it's easy for you to give rights to indigenous people to secure their spaces. These things are simple. So what we're now trying to do with the Senate hearings is to have it become a federal statute to create the state police. And then a lot of things will go with that. So for me, if you ask me why the industrial scale ethnic cleansing by the Fulani militias are still happening in Plateau, Benue, it is because the security services under President Buhari become compromised. And because they became compromised, I don't think the present administration has yet taken the surgical steps to actually, reverse that compromise. Because if President Tinubu traveled to Benue and then complained, why are there no 48 hours they were arrests? That means the security services know where these people who do this thing are. But somewhere, somehow, they have been compromised to look the other way when these things happen. So this is the issue. And since they cannot do it, the Senate public hearings intend to create an enabling law that will now allow the state to create their own police and the local people to bear security equipment to use to protect themselves. Because I can tell you, these things you're seeing, you talk about Ilorin earlier. What if they want to use force to also achieve that settler colonialism? That's what you're saying. That's why you see the Hausas protesting against, Buhari's policies in Kassel, Nigeria. Because the Hausas are the worst affected persons for Buhari's rule. I said it before, when I went to Katsina to do investigation, I came out and on Channel TV, I told the people I went to places like Basari, Sapana, Dutsima, Damusa, Kankara, Maru, Bungudu, places as far as Malele, Densada, Dangobe, even in Kaduna State, I went to Pandogari. I went inside behind Pandogari and I saw the same militias that I saw in Dangobe at Dogongona. Dogongona is a massive games reserve behind Alawa. You can also access this through Birningwari. And I reported this on channels television. That day, Mark Bogun thought I was making them. I say, these are fantasies. This is a conspiracy. I say, no, these are things I saw in my eyes. And even some of the Fulani people I saw who were roaming about Katsina State with guns, I spoke to them. And when I was speaking to them, I was speaking Hausa. I said, "Hey, came to me the guy that was when the Hausas besides say, I ranked the Karaka Yumusu Hausa. Said that I Yumusu Parenchi, Basuji Hausa. And as I said, two parle français, they said yes. So as we started speaking, I now found that these people came from Mauritania, some from Mali, some from Burkina Faso, some from
They
Central
were not
African Republic.
Nigerians.
No, they're not Nigerian. Most of them speak Bambara and French.
Is that so?
As
Sorry,
I
sir. Is
said
that
this,
why? Is that why once upon a time Nnamdi Kanu had challenged a Buhari then that if he knows it's the same Buhari, he should come out publicly and speak Fulfulde and not any other language?
but Buhari doesn't need to speak Fulfulde because Buhari ethnically is Tuareg. Buhari ethnically is Tuareg. Buhari was born under the Daura Emirate. The Daura Emirate stretches from Daura in Nigeria, goes through Maradi in Niger, goes through Tahua in Niger, and stops at Agadez on the Niger-Libyan border. That is the Daura Emirate. It's the same thing with the Adamawa Emirate. It stretches from Nigeria into Cameroon. You had when the Lamido Adamawa said during the national conference that if they won't agree, he can go back to his Cameroon people who are still there with him. So a lot of these emirates shoot themselves beyond borders of different countries. This emirate existed before the creation of Nigeria, and they have continued to stay. And see, if you go to that where this place I'm talking, the Tuaregs are about 11% of the population of Niger. You have both the Songhai and their other people. Let me. There you have the Hausas are actually about 54%, 53% of Niger Republic. Okay, they have Fulani about 6%, and there you have the Kanuri is about 5.6%. They're about the Shua about 0.4%. Hausas are the largest. Hausas are the largest in northern Nigeria. They're also the largest in Niger, but they don't have no powers. They don't have no powers, and that's why I said under Buhari's rule, Hausas get somebody elected in places like Katch. It is the Fulanis that still dominate them. So now that the democracy has become an issue of vote, if we sustain the implementation of the authentic, identification through biometric, biometric authentication of voters before they vote, then of course, what that means is that with time, if we have free and fair election, everything will change. The Fulanis are still holding sway across the north because we do not have free and fair elections. Once you have free and fair elections, they will go because they don't have numbers. That's the truth about democracy. Democracy is a numbers-based game. So I understand the Fulani fighting tooth and nail to try to stop the progression of a new society in Nigeria. But I know nothing good comes easily. So let us continue to do what we're doing. Look at now, within 2 years of Tinubu being in power, they're fighting to try to get rid of him. Maybe they can't accept other people being in power. It's not about P2B. It's about the Fulani not accepting, since the British left, that other people should be part of it. Why? During the days, they had chances to control the military and they wrote a lot of decrees. Those decrees cannot survive in a numbers-based democracy because they don't have the numbers to maintain their advantage and entitlement positions. Distance. Okay, but I am very optimistic about where we're going to.
All right.
I am
So
very
the reason I
optimistic.
asked that question about security is because of this news that came up earlier today, where we heard that troops have arrested NURTW members transporting arms, terrorists, and they call them terrorist IPOB ECN, tax collectors. And it is worrisome. I don't know. I would have loved you to react to that. In fact, as I speak to you, the police have even declared some IPOB members wanted in that regard. And that's
I
why I
don't
wanted
want to comment.
to.
I will not make the mistake of commenting on such news that are not authenticated yet because the security services still has planted persons whose business is just to spread stories against people they don't like. I don't have that. I don't have the confirmation. I just want to the defense architecture in Nigeria compromise that they could look the other way and foreigners will now commit industrial scale ethnic cleansings across Nigeria. And such uh, security people, you do not take everything. They would not stop. You heard what indigenous people said in Benue. The security service will be standing there and terrorists will be wiping away villages. So anything
Exactly what they
such
said in
security
Jos
people
yesterday
say,
too. That's what they said in Jos
good.
yesterday too. They
I
said they
am
called
aware
this
of that, yes.
yes, and they called them and they were
So
just a few poles away. They have a base, a command base there. That is the Operation Safe Haven base there. And but they could not for 3 hours. that operation was going on. It's really very sad.
Because the Nigerian people have lost confidence in the security instrument. That's why the government is trying now to create state police. If these people are honest and available to their work, it's a different thing. So I will ask people to discard rhetorics that they hear. They're not real. How come they've not arrested any of the Fulanis who are moving catches of weapons anywhere? No arrest, nothing. So forget these people, please. Don't take them seriously.
All right, thank you. So Nigerians' phone lines are open. Dr. Katch has spoken so much, and I know you have lots of questions to ask. Some of you have asked your questions from the platform here, and it's time to begin to get responses for your questions. So phone lines are open. Kindly join the link. Click on the link on the pinned post to join the conversation, or you call the WhatsApp number 0817 029 4077. 0817 029 4077. Dr. Katch, somebody did ask in the comment section, why e be say anytime when they say make them separate power between the south and west, sorry, the north and south rather, they only go within the northwest and the southwest? Why e no dey go to other zones for the, why they need to think of other zones in for mind? Or make I pick this
Because
call so that you answer all together, no vex. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good afternoon over here. This
Yes.
is Ken Agulu calling from Washington, D.C.
Ken Agulu, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Catch, you are on point. The fight you are, what you are fighting is not for you and not for me. What you are fighting is for our children and children's children. So we are totally in support of what you are fighting. If we say that power will go to the north for 8 years, it is also good for power to return in the south for 8 years. And if Atiku think otherwise, we're going to tell him that he is not all that popular in the north. Okay? The last election has shown that. He only won the northeast. P2B got 35% of the Christian votes. 35% of votes in where? In his own state, Adamawa.
stop.
So he better believe when he says not, you better believe there's Hausas and they're Christians that don't buy that bullshit he's talking about. And last election have shown him that he's not all that popular. He went into primary with Buhari, Kwankwaso and himself. He got number 3 vote. Kwankwaso defeated him. So he's not popular. Okay? He better be ashamed of himself, of the age. He's gonna be 81 years in 2027. And you can see how tired, how age is telling on him during Buhari burial. And he wants to be there to be a president. So every time we have a leader in Nigeria, he's gonna be old in their 80s to rule Nigeria. So he just messing himself up. And we're gonna watch all those people that are supporting them. Because when power goes to the north in 2031, we're gonna mark them. We're gonna mark them. They're probably gonna want the support of the South. They ain't getting there. So we are watching. So I'm not even perturbed because he's gonna fail again. It's gonna be 3-way race. Once come to us, let Tinubu finish up the 4 years. They're not gonna get it. We have to make that statement clear to each and every one of the people in the north that we, the Southerners, also deserve that 8 years. And that's all I'm doing. So, just thanking you and just stick on with what you're doing. We're all in support. This is the fight for our children and children, and we're going to make that statement and make that clear to them. That's all I want to say. Thank you, Katch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much. And then somebody reacted here. There's an accusation on your person here. Somebody said that you're working for Tinubu and that Tinubu paid you.
This is not the first time. This is not the first time. I was told the same thing in 2022. Somebody sat me down and said, "Do you know what you're doing with Peter? If you people will split the vote and Tinubu will win." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Well, In
Carry
the
home.
story I started with is he should come to the south. So I don't think that person, I am not for Tinubu. I didn't vote for Tinubu. I work for Peter Obi. It was Peter I spoke to several times. It was Peter who told me yes. It was Peter Obi that I escorted to Channels Television and he declared to run. It was Peter Obi that was in the same car with me as we drove from Channels to Arise for him to also say he will run. It's not Tinubu. So I don't know why, if I insist on certain presence, some people tell me you're working for Tinubu. Me and Tinubu, we've not had any agreement. I am not a member of the APC. I am just a member of the obedient movement. I don't know. Tinubu will be surprised at what they are telling him.
All right, thank you, sir. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello, Precious. Good evening.
Thank you.
My name is Christopher.
Okay? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Turkey.
You're
I've
welcome.
been your ardent follower.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. Welcome.
All right. Actually, I've been following your program, and I listened to Mr. Pat Onaniju. I must say thank you for taking your time to give us news and information coming out from Nigeria. Yes, I worry sometimes about the safety of you and also Mr. Pat Onaniju for being able to speak truth to power, because I wonder, Nigeria being a place that's not.
I don't get problem with safety. Now my guests they talk. I talk anything. Dr. Katch, now you talk now. My own na to ask question, they answer me. I don't get talk.
Yes, I agree with you. But
And if I dey talk, I dey talk on based on wetin Nigerians. Then make I say no be me talk. Them say and they bring evidence. Just go ahead.
Tell them also that Nigeria is not dangerous, please. Nigeria is not dangerous, please. Mhm. There is free chip. There is free speech.
The security apparatus, they really find it difficult to listen to those who speak truth to power, just like Mr. Katch Onaniju is doing now. So in this case, I hope he's taking his safety into consideration, because from all his sayings here, I see he's going deeply into the north and even speaking against the power that may be. And this troubles me. I please employ him to put it safe, because we enjoy his words, we enjoy the things he say, because this is the only place we get truth, and that is why we are all interested in listening to your program. So when I see him on your program, and I even see your program, I always come up to listen, and I please employ you to continue to do this. And Mr. Katch, please do this, but your safety, please.
Thank you. Dr. Katch, you don't hear him. You get any reply, sir?
Yes. Yes, I do have a
Go ahead,
reply. Please not that dangerous. There is still free speech. I have been doing this now on television for quite a while. I started the Fulani monologue when Buhari was there, and I was telling the country what I knew. I was on television right when the war broke in Central African Republic, and when the Fulanis came to Benue State, when Gabriel Siswan refused to cede land and they tried to kill him. I was speaking about this on TV when Buhari came. I was the only Nigerian who challenged and then tried to tell the country that there is nothing like farmers' headers crisis. It is Buhari who's looking for land to resettle Fulani refugees escaping from the war. And I said, if you don't join other leaders to be able to situate the 2015 peace agreement in Mali, when the refugee floods start coming to the sub-region, there will be a problem. That's what happened. So when they came into Nigeria, Buhari tried to get land for them by saying grazing reserve, but Nigerians said no. He said cows colony, which Nigerians said no. He said, okay, consolidation of underground and surface water plus 6 kilometers of embarking land. Nigerians said no. It was actually the filibuster that under Senate President Bukola Saraki, which Akpabio did as minority leader. That was what got Akpabio into trouble. On the Tuesday, they came to arrest him. And before you knew it, he joined APC for peace. So I have been doing this for a very long time. My only tool is I have truth, and I have very deep knowledge of what I'm saying. I don't fabricate stories. I understudy. I travel to the places. I speak to the people before I talk on television. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello, good evening, precious.
Good evening, welcome. Who is this? What's your name? Where are you calling from? The voice sounds familiar, but I can't place it now. Go ahead.
Yes, my name
I
is
don't know. T.Y. Danjuma. I catch you. T.Y. Danjuma. How far now? How you doing?
I did a full for ground.
All right, go ahead. Let's hear
I
you.
want to greet Dr. Katch again for honoring the invitation to be here at the platform. I think again we have a section that is very refreshing, informative, and very instructive. So, Dr. Katch, thank you so much. I love my heart for you.
Now, you've been done
Thank you very
promising.
much.
What you been promising for the comment section? You don't wait till you be the promise, and now you are being.
I
Wait, say.
I said make it two bottles of vodka, real Russian vodka, not be fake vodka.
Russian vodka. Dr. Katch, he will send it to you. If he doesn't send it, please let me know.
I'll be very happy.
Please.
I will happy.
hold
Somebody
him.
sent me Dom Perignon, a carton of Dom Perignon yesterday. You know, Dom Perignon 2003 vintage. I'm grateful to all of you.
Dr. Katch, my first question for you is, given all the misgivings that we hear coming from the coalition, the ADC coalition, even though I want to assume that we really haven't had the truth, because probably what we're hearing propaganda has been this one not say. But I put you on the spot right now, and I'm saying, what would be your candid advice to the coalition if it actually intends to succeed in its plan or desire to get power come 2027? That's the first question. The second question is, there is so much campaign of calumny against the personality and the person of Obi. And there may be people who are beginning to buy into some of all those things they are spewing against Obi. What is the obedient movement doing, as a counterpart to all those things they are saying, to present the truth, not embellish anything, but to present the truth about Obi and his pain? Those are the two questions.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Listen what he responds. All right, Nigerians, before you respond, let me quickly beg Nigerians. You people should go and follow me like a village people now. Subscribe now. We have almost 800, 900 and something people join at some point. People should subscribe now. Or I know they pay money, not be DSTV, not be GoTV. Subscribe. It is for free. And and most importantly, share this information. Make it enter all the corner of Nigeria. Make Nigerians know what's going to happen for the country. Please subscribe, like, and share. Go ahead and respond, sir.
I want to tell you, don't worry yourself. The movement we started is an organic movement. I tell you, I have control over the movement. I'll be lying to you. I just know how to organize. I'll give you an instance. At the beginning, in 2022, there was a time when Peter will go to apologize to people who feel offended at what the movement members were talking about them. And I told him, I said, you're not going to be able to go and talk to everybody. Leave this alone. This is just natural crowd reaction. When they start, nobody can stop them. So don't let them start first. Let them be listening. They know, they are digesting. They are also constructing. They are debunking. Let's not start yet. The campaigns have not yet started.
He also spoke about your advice to the ADC if they insist on, this thing about.
Oh, my advice is very simple. Do a postmortem to find out why the opposition imploded. So if you do a postmortem and you found out that it was because the members of the political class from the north refused that the political pendulum that has been in the north for 8 years, they refused it going to the south for 8 years. That was why we leave, nothing else. I'm speaking so that you people can privately talk to PDP people what cost me to start and campaigning from TV station to TV chat room in the PDP until I was able to talk to Doinukugbe, until I was able to speak to Peter Obi. Peter said no, he will not challenge Atiku. And this is the
All right.
truth. The truth.
So your
And then I
advice to
started
the
going
ADC
from
would be for them
individual to
to.
individual. And then by the time the individuals came together and we invited them to the home of Chief Pat Chidolue Nabueni, Peter now said, okay, he will consider. Before you knew it, Peter went home, resigned from the party, and then went to tell the governor and saw traditional rulers meeting, got up there to test traditional rulers. That was happy to be declared for presidency. You know that others will elaborately hire hall, invite people. No. Peter just went up, greeted traditional rulers, and there he declared. As he came, we drove to this Arise, it was on the channel studio. And as I was driving to Arise studio, I got call from the AIT people. They said, come, come, come. I said, no, I won't come. When I talk, say, you know, go support us, Southern president, you want to support Atiku, I won't come. That was why, if you
Oh,
checked
because you know that Dokpesi
all through,
supported. Mm.
exactly. And when I knew he was carrying that thing on his head, I said, that's why you saw all through the campaign. We didn't go to AIT. We were mostly Arise and
Channels.
Channels TV. That was what happened. That was
So
the reason.
your
So
advice
when we got
to
to
ADC would be to learn from what happened to the PDP. That's what you're saying. To answer that
exactly
question.
learn from what made us implode, and that was the refusal of some elements of the PDP led by Atiku Abubakar to allow the presidential pendulum switch from north after 8 years to the south. That was what, nothing else. I have nothing personal against
All
Atiku
right.
Abubakar. Nothing. Nothing.
Okay. All right. Hello. Good evening and welcome.
Hi, good evening.
Thank you,
Precious.
sir. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Thank you very much. My name is Kenneth. I'm calling from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Okay. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. First, I just also want to take it from where the other guys spoke. First, thank you for the good job that you guys are doing. And thank you, Doctor. The more you know about Nigeria's situation, the more sad you become. I said it over and over. People like us also knew that you said farmer headers clashes. People clash when there is a conflict of interest. But your farm is traded. You didn't move your farm. And there's somebody intruded and fighting you, eating your crops, evade you. This farmer headers evasion. There's nothing like clashes. And people are scared. However, people a great most of us believe on Peter Obi and seems to be one of the last group of Nigeria at this point in time. And as Nigeria, we must devise a way how we propagate the gospel. Our lies travel faster than
Truth.
than the truth. Yeah. So in this, people try to smear a campaign of calumny. He didn't go to Daura to go and pay and many other things. As if it's a government official and others. And so a lot of interests are going on. But again, that gentleman represents one of the last group of Nigeria at this point in time. If we miss it, we miss out. I thank you very much, Precious. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the platform. Thank you, Doctor, for being there.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me take this so you respond to all of them at a time. Hello. Good evening and welcome. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Sir?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. My name is Chairmen. I'm calling from Italy.
You're welcome,
I'm
sir.
from Enugu State.
You're welcome, sir. Go ahead,
God
sir.
bless you, sister. You are doing a wonderful
God bless you
job.
too, my brother. Thank you.
My greeting goes to my senior brother also with you.
He can hear you.
Yes, I know.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
One question. And it goes to my big brother. I really want to know what he can do to help the five governors from the East to unite. I really want to know. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, he can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. I really just want to know
how he can help the 5 Eastern governors to unite together. Because if they unite together, Igbo are originally blessed. We don't need much from even Nigeria. But our greatest problem is that the governors are not united. We are so divided. What is he doing to make sure that the governors are united so that they can work together? Thank you and God bless you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Would you like to respond to that? Do you have an answer to that? He wants to know what you can do to
No,
ensure
no,
that
no, 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 no,
the
no.
Southeast governors are united so that it will work together in one
They,
force, Is that
they
doable?
are they are working for their people as they can. Everybody will do things in regard to their abilities. But Igbos are united. That's most important. I wouldn't say the governors are not united. They are united. I think so. It's just that they are not doing heavy things, but a lot of them are performing excellently very well. Like in Abia State, the governor is doing well, and people are very happy about him. In Imo, Hope Uzodinma has achieved so much in infrastructure that he is right now at par with the performances of Simon Bakwe when it comes to infrastructure. Uzodinma has done far more.
All right. Looks like we'll have a network downtime there. Okay. All right. I think the network we have it.
Roads.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead, sir. Okay. I don't know if a call is trying to come into your phone, sir. If not, waiting the call
Yes,
state.
it
Sorry.
is a call that it is.
Sorry.
So what I'm trying to tell you is the governors are doing very, very well for to the best of their abilities. Lex Soti is doing
Okay.
very well. Governor Hope Uzodinma has acted in terms of infrastructure since inception of democracy. No one
Well,
else. People are shocked.
some people have refuted that thing you said about Hope Uzodinma. Some people have come to this
That is
platform
not true. They
and
are not, they're
said
just noisy
that
people.
Hope Uzodinma has done abysmally very poor in terms of security in the state. That he colluded
No,
with,
security, let me help you. Let me help
okay,
you, please. Let me help
okay,
you.
all right.
Security is not the purview of the governors. The security crisis we had in Imo State started under Governor Rochas Okorocha because when President Buhari launches what do you call it, tiger dance, python dance, tortoise dance, those were the seeds of insecurity. Then he now upgraded it to the unknown gunmen sting operation. The unknown gunmen sting operation was a government covert sting operation perpetrated by elements of the Buhari administration. Today, there is nothing like that in Imo State because the Tinubu administration has stopped federal fundings for all those things. So it's not the governors. It was
But,
Buhari.
people are also here saying that both in terms of health and education, yes, he did roads, and people said that most of the roads he did are federal roads and not internal state roads. That he did federal roads,
Good.
which he would collect the money back from federal government.
Now,
That most
can't you
of the
hear what
internal
you're
state
saying?
roads he did not work
Good.
on them. I'm not the one saying this. See the
No, no,
comments
no,
there.
no,
So
no, no. That I'm taking you
these
on
are
that.
comments from people.
How come others
So
didn't do federal route? I'm just asking you. How come
okay.
others did not do federal routes? Hope did federal because the federal roads are the most important tunnels of the road. He did it from the Omaya Obowu, you know, interchange straight down to Owerri. He did it from Owerri straight going to Uturu through Okigwe. He did it from Owerri through Olu, from there to Oga. They can be, what
And he's
about the
getting his
internal
response
ones?
from the government.
Listen, forget all those crappy, those are just talks by jealous people. This has been federally available. How come they never did net it? If
Okay.
what they, okay, give it to
And
them, it is true.
how about his involvement with the Bubago? Or there's also an involvement of something I heard about the Asari Dokubo led security outfit or something.
No,
And
no, no, no. That has
there
nothing
were
to do with
rumors
any of
about
the
that.
governors.
Okay, there were rumors about that.
Asari Dokubo ran a program where they were working under Bichi. Bichi was the DSS director. That was why when the Bichi left and what's his name left, the Buhari administration ended, all that ended because Buhari did not give any handover note to Tinubu in regards to that. And what Tinubu did, he stopped federal funding. And Asari started complaining against the governors. Governors can't pay you because they didn't engage you. Ask yourself, why did Buhari start all those very dangerous covert operations? And I think he's just wanted to revenge, according to him, General Ihejirika with the Boko Haram. So, and if you listen to what Mandela says, he said
So you
any
think it was a
leader,
payback for Ihejirika dealing on Boko? But Boko Haram were terrorists now. Would you not eliminate them before?
remember that remember how leaders with Buhari them try to say that they will sue Ihejirika, take him to the International Criminal Court. So he now came and set up this his own. Those were all federal covert operations. They had nothing to do with Rochas. They had nothing to do with Hope. They were all federal operations, sting operations. Whether you see them in Port Harcourt, you see them in Anambra, you see them in Imo, they were federal covert operations. That's what it is. So please, but you remember when Governor Alex Oti went to Umunochi, went to Lokbanta, he saw that and he closed down that cattle
All right,
market.
sir. All right,
Was
sir.
it Governor
We have time
Lokbanta?
for that.
Well, are you going to tell me now it was OKZ Kpazi doing that? No. These are dirty things from people that you cannot point to.
All right. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello, Pepe. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Daniel. How are you?
I'm
Welcome.
fine.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Dr. Katch, thank you for blessing us with your presence today. We are so grateful.
He's
My own
responding.
take, or the question in which I would love to ask Dr. Katch is in regard to Buba Galadima, especially based on one statement in which he made, but a lot of person just overlooked the whole thing when he was talking about what the Oduduwa people were doing in Ilorin and the reason why in which they have to intervene. Then in quotes, he now made mention that the government, that people come into power either by the gun of the barrel,
Or by the ballots.
through what?
Through democratic
Ballots.
process.
That was
Yes.
what he said.
Yes.
I want Dr. Kai to comment about the person of Buba Galadima and also to tell us if such type of person should be seen as somebody who is Democrat. Then again, I want Dr. Katch, I want to draw his attention. If he sees, if maybe the next election of somebody who is going to become the INEC chairman, if this person maybe is being removed as the INEC chairman,
Mahmoud Yakubu.
if it's going to have a very big influence in our election or not. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Two questions he asked there. One is to explain the character of the person of Buba Galadima based on his recent statements about elections being toppled either by the ballot or by gun, right? And then secondly, if you think that the position of the next election chairman would make any difference or would create a change in our electoral system. But before you respond to that, there's also this person who's asked this question here I'd like you to respond to. He said, did the displaced herdsmen from Central African Republic relocate to Benue and the Middle Belt? That's the question he asked.
Yes. They left the Central African Republic, came to Benue. When they came, they were looking for land from Governor Suswan. Suswan was not cooperative, and that was why they wanted to kill him one
between
time
1999 and 2007, right? Because people thought that Suswan handled that issue better.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And later on, when somebody like Dambazau could not keep them in both the ones who settled on the Gembu plain and were having fight against the Kaka and the Pansa on the Mambila plains. When Dambazau, the general, couldn't keep them there, Bambazau was removed. But I think those people later on left Gembu and resettled in Cross River State. Immediately after, Governor Ayade entered into APC. So these people, when Buhari tried to get land Nigerians didn't give them land. That was the reasons why they now resorted to industrial-style ethnic cleansings to gain ancestral lands. Now, we need to find the political will to do this. The governor of Plateau State have told us that some of these settlers even rename those communities. Under Nigerian law, under Section 516 conspiracy, if you conspire with somebody and you steal something, being it land, being it anything, and then the police catches you with that thing, in this case, land, that's nothing. Go to governor of Plateau, collect him, get the names of the communities, go there, and the new settlers who are not Nigerians on it, arrest them. They become accessory to crime. But the government doesn't
So
seem to have
basically,
the
they talk
political
most
will
of
to
these
do these
Fulani
things.
people. Then when they talk, when they worry, then so Dr. Katch, basically they talk. Say most of these Fulani people, they not be Nigerian Fulanis. Now waiting you
No,
talk.
no, no, no. None of them are, because there are no Nigerians that have left Kanu. There are no Nigerians of Fulani ethnicity that has left Kanu, has left Zamfara, that has left Sokoto or Katsina, and have relocated from their land to other places and want to live in the bush. Yeah.
Oh my, oh my. All right.
I am back. I am back. I am back. There are no Nigerians that has left anywhere in northern Nigeria, settled anywhere in southern Nigeria. Everything you see are nothing but foreigners. No Nigerians have left Sokoto, Katsina, Zamfara. That place, there are vast lands. What they are looking for are lands with grass and water.
Water.
So that's
So
why I told you the
the
only offense.
reason I asked this question is because of the statement made by some Fulani leaders recently. You can see the headline here. I didn't say it. Is on. I just posted it. They said no one can force us or chase us out of Plateau State. It's our own state too. You can see that is a headline.
The rush for
So
Plateau
that's the
State
reason I asked this
started.
question.
Well, the rush for Plateau State, Benue State, Taraba State, Niger State, Nasarawa State, and it's just because of those places have good wetlands, they have humidity, they also do have grass. Benue State is 98% Christians. The major sect in Benue are about two, Catholic and then the NKST. The NKST stands for Nengu Christi, Al Sudan, Hentif. This was because before Nigeria was created, that part of Nigeria was called Sudan. So what is called is the people of Christ in Sudan of TV extraction, NKST, Nengu Christi, Al Sudan, Hentif. Apart from that, Benue has the largest concentration of Catholics. So you don't have Fulanis there in Benue. But today, they are fighting to take land because the security services are weak. What about Plateau? It's not their place. I grew as a child in Plateau State. When I was in Plateau in the 70s, it was the British who were there in Jubilee. I lived in Genta, Ojuku Genta. I also used to go visit my friends at places like Kaswan Katako, where I saw the St. Augustine's Major Seminary. I know about Nasarawa and Dilimi Street because my uncle used to have a shop around there. I know Jos. When I was a child in Jos, the Fulanis only stayed at Toro, along the Bauchi, Jos, Toro Road, at a place called Tedem Fulani. They're not indigenous there. But now they're fighting to take it. They're fighting to take places like Benue. They're fighting to take places like Taraba. They're fighting everywhere. And I told people, I said, they will not succeed because they don't have population to achieve their aim. Tinubu came, and you can see what it is. Because of the laxity in governance, they are continuing that war to seize land from indigenous people. How can you take land from the owners? The government will keep quiet, and the owners are now being camped in IDP
Okay.
camps. Isn't that
All right.
something very
We have people
terrible?
waiting on the line, but remember, you have two questions standing by. One, to describe the personality or what you think about the personality of Buba Galadima. And the second question he asked, I hope I remember it, but let's take this caller. Let's take this caller very quickly. Hello, good evening. The calls are too many. I made a no swear for me if I don't take their calls, sir. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Thank you. Now your turn be this. Hey, you locon. Hey, you locon. Oh yeah, go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is my first time of coming to your program.
Oh, congratulations. Where are you calling from?
I'm coming from Italy.
From Italy. What's be your name, sir?
Yeah, Fred.
Fred. Oh yeah, go ahead. Very quickly.
Thank you very much. Actually, I want to say very thank you to Katch. He's a great man.
Thank you.
I'm unlike hearing for him every time he comes to a program, but my first time talking to a program with him. So please, I don't know if there's anything we can do. We need P2B. We need P2B. If there's anything we can do, yeah. So we need P2B. We need P2B, not Atiku.
All right.
So P2B is our candidate. So if there's anything we can do to P2B get the ticket of the ADC, we are able to do it. So
All right.
please,
All right.
write my expression.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, sir. You would like to, he said they need P2B, that whatever you people can do, what are you going to do to give them P2B in the ballot paper? That's one. And then secondly, let's also get you react to that question about Buba Galadima. So you react to your guys about P2B. Go ahead, sir. I have people
What
in
I
my
will tell
backyard. Join me. Go ahead.
I am not in the business of describing characters of people. I will not fall into that trap, but I can tell you that Buba was an original Buhari person. But when Buhari got into power, I think Buba was ditched. So Buba is an angry man, and I believe we're going to hear more now that Buhari has gone. So I don't think it is proper for us to rush everything we hear. Just wait. You will hear more. You will hear more. What you have now are the psychological autopsy of the man Buhari. You know what they say in the church when people die? They say, you shall be remembered for the things you've done. And that's so, as they remember him for who he was and the things he's done, we will hear more. There are more confessions you've not had. So just go purchase your popcorn and begin to enjoy yourself. Don't rush, but you will hear more. Okay? Yes, your other question, you said P2B on the
Yes.
ballot. Well, you can see
Somebody
the protocol.
asked a question before the ballot boys. Somebody asked a question about, I think, the change of the INEC chairman. If you think it's very significant or it will have
No,
a significant role
changing of
in the
INEC
selection.
chairman, that is inevitable.
Do
President
you
Tinubu
think
will
it will
appoint
have
the man he
significant
wants to work for
change
him.
in the 2027 or make a significant difference in
No,
2027 election?
the most important, that will not have any change. What will have change is a reform of the electoral laws. Electoral reforms, the most important one we're expecting is to make it legally mandatory that results are transmitted after voting. The only result that should be announced are the ones that are transmitted. And they should be transmitted to multiple points so that there should be corresponding validations of what anybody announces. When you announce it, is here, is there, is there. But you could see what happened in the last election. The providers of the server, Amazon Web Services, say there was no problem with their server. Government said, shut up, there was service. Why? The server was switched off. You need sincerity in governance to actually have the laws instrumented correctly to serve society. No matter what you do, no matter the law, you need honesty in approach to public service. So what I'll tell you right now is due to the fact that the country is under state capture. You can see
All right.
anything seems to happen. The only thing that seems to be changing are these issues about people trying to come
Okay.
together.
How about what you can do to ensure that P2B is in the ballot, or what can be done to ensure P2B is in the ballot? Do you have an answer to that question?
Well, Peter Obi has publicly announced to the country that he'll be on the ballot. What
All
else is that?
right. Okay.
What is just what he needs? He finds a platform and he's on ballot. The law doesn't stop anybody from being on
All
ballot.
right.
There are several shelf parties anybody can purchase and use it to get to, the election. So that's not
All
an
right.
issue.
Thank you. Hello. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Precious.
Sir.
I'm so sorry. Sometimes I call you after the show because I listen to you on my phone when I'm outside.
Oh.
I don't know exactly time you finish your show.
Okay,
so
sir.
I'm very sorry for that by calling you in the wrong time.
No, you not call me wrong time. Or you did live on air right now. So you did lucky
No,
today.
not today. Not today.
Other days. All right. Thank you, sir. It's okay.
Yes.
I totally understand, sir.
Yes. And I thank you for bringing Dr. Katch or Mr. Katch.
Doctor,
I'm so
please.
happy,
And
Dr. Katch. Yes. When you told us yesterday that Dr. Katch is coming today, I can't wait to listen to him. And I say thank you to him.
Thank you.
Precious,
Sir?
my calculation between Obi and Atiku, Obi should not step down. 1, 2. If Atiku carry the presidential ticket of ADC, he's going to lose. And I have 100% assurance that northern people will support Obi. But either Obi or Tinubu. Without that, there's nothing else. And I'm sure Obi will carry the card of the day. 100%. And I told you when you are still other side, if Obi nominated as a candidate, I'm coming home to campaign for him. Thank you. God bless you, Precious. You are doing a good job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Thank you. Bye. Let me just talk to someone else very quickly. Hello. Good evening and welcome. Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Toke, calling from London.
You're welcome, Mr. Okay. Okay, Okwidi, okay.
Thank you. I'm okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
All right. I just want to welcome Mr. Katch, the gentleman there. What a wonderful man he is. And I also want to thank you for bringing me on today.
Thank you.
Yeah, because Katch, one thing I like about Katch is that he's a man of his word, and he speaks it, he says it the way he is. He doesn't mince words. So, Katch, thank you so much for bringing us the letters and the truth and the happenings in the government. But it's quite unfortunate I don't see you on the channel anymore. But they don't come on board again.
They say you don't come to channels anymore. Go ahead. He will answer you.
I want to be seeing you there. So,
It's possible that the state people are paying them money. I don't mind.
When this guy, what's his name again? The army chief, during the election. What's his name again? Please remind me.
When did who? Jonathan. Ihe Jirika. Okay.
Remember what happened during time of Ihe Jirika?
Yes, we know. When the Northerners said that they were killing the Norths, stuff. So.
Thank you. Let me tell you. You see those days. That is Nigerians are. I think let me use the word. I'm sorry to use it. Nigerian people are docile. Do you know why?
Go ahead.
Obama and Buhari them brought in Boko Haram to destroy Nigeria. Alright? And Jonathan didn't know what was going on. He thought it's just within, a plan within. He didn't know there's international conspiracy to pull him out of the seat. Then what they did was to use those Boko Haram to destabilize his government. And when that is why you see Obama, they gang up against him for the other countries not to sell upon to him. Is that not correct? And he could not sell. And what he did was to go into he went to South Africa, and that criminal there in South Africa even implicated him. They have to go to black market and buy some ammunition to be able to wipe some of the Boko Haram. And what they do? Oh, they were crying. They even use international charity organization to say, you come and answer, you're killing innocent people. You're killing innocent people. That
How was the conspiracy? Go and check if you check the war in Syria, the same thing. The same thing British and America did during Cameron and Obama. They were sponsoring Al Qaeda, using Al Qaeda to fight the Syrian president Assad. That's what they were doing. Even to an extent, they forgot. They went and dumped their weapon in the camp of the enemy. Before the BBC actually said, how come they drop the weapon on Al Qaeda side? Just like what they're doing in Nigeria. They will fly a helicopter and come and drop something for the criminals, bombers. Then they will come and say, like you killed in the night. Boom, boom. The one you're asking, who went there? So thank you so much, Katch. I want to take your time because you have a lot to want to today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. Let's take hello, Ogad. I keep choosing. Thank you for joining us. Sincere apologies for keeping you in the backyard for too long. Welcome. Oh, yeah, sharp because my phone line the buzz don't stop. You know, some people won't swear for me. They're ready to call the gods of Ndoke land now.
I've been
Dr.
waiting
Katch,
on the people on your phone line.
Sorry, Dr. Katch, I forgot to tell you what somebody said. Somebody said that the person who promised you Russian vodka is not patriotic. Our president don't ban imported things. So the person for promise you Bayelsa Ekpeteshi. Why they don't give you like I'm an Ndoke woman now? Why they don't give you Ndoke Etetem? It's a Etetem we call local jail. Why they don't give you Ndoke Etetem?
I did. I got Ndoke.
So should I
I got
order for
Ndoke
should I order for a
hospitality.
Etetem for you from Ndoke land, sir? All right, go ahead.
No problem. No
Thank you.
problem.
Go ahead, please. I keep choosing. Thank you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Dr. Katch. This is your brother Ike
Thank you.
Alamefla. I'm speaking to you from the Caribbean, from the island of Bonaire. I used to come to
Ike.
Sister Precious platform once in a while. First of all, I just have only a few
I
seconds.
think you don't come talk once in a while. Once in a while. So you're not a grand patron and grand member.
You know, living outside is a very hard thing. You have to walk
problem.
24 hours. You know what it means.
Problem.
So, listen, Dr. Katch, first of all, I want to appreciate you for your sacrifices and your fight during 22 and 23. I must tell you, people like us recognize everything you did for the obedient movement and for the campaign. And I tell you that we have not forgotten. And people like me, I never forgot. You know, even though you are not every of the platform we used to speak every time, like somebody said, whenever you're on channel or anywhere, I don't want to miss any time you're online, you know. So I just want to tell you that my God will bless you. And I just pray that my God will continue to give you the strength and the grace to continue to speak truth to power and continue to defend, the right thing to be done in Nigeria. So my question is very short for other people to comment. I wrote it on comment the other time. What I was asking for was since 72 hours, that my question was, have we spoken to PO, our principal? Have we been able to speak to him? And after Atiku resigned to PDP and moved officially to ADC, have any conversation with PO or people that are close to him to know, what is thinking in his brain? Thank you, my brother, and I tell you that God will continue to bless you.
Okay.
I will tell you.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I could tell you. I will tell you. I talked to Peter now and then, but the things I do, I don't need to ask him because the ideas I have them in my head, so I'm able to speak ahead even before Peter thinks it. Why? The reasons why I started what I started and then got Peter engaged to head it are still in my head. I don't need to talk to Peter to sustain. Instead, if there are mistakes, just like the mistakes you saw in him, not understanding that they were going to use him to do membership registration. And when I found that invitation talking to people like Precious, doing my internet, speaking to Nigerians, because most times when I do things, they go viral. And once he got wind, we spoke, and I said, no, 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 don't make that mistake. We must go back to the fundamentals. The fundamentals are what we started with. What got me started in the PDP before I came to you. It is they refuse to allow the presidential pendulum to swing from the north to the south. So we're not going to get into the mud and then start doing a dollarized primary with people who have just left government and they have all the cash and they are desperate. If they said if it's dollarized primary, that they even defeated Wike, who was given $30,000 per delegate, we're not ready to get into such contests. So let's go back to original thing that started our movement. And after all that, the Mr. Yunus, Dr. Yunusa Tanko went now to tell the country that no, we're not going to do those things. If the people who know that they want to bring back the opposition are serious, you have to do a postmortem to check why we left and started the youth movement. And that's because the Northerners refused for the inclusion of the Southerners in Buhari's 8 years. It's as simple as that. So, and that's why we're back. So whoever doesn't agree to zone to the south, the same way we zone to the north, we wouldn't do that. We will not play with them. It's as simple, and we're doing enough for us.
Okay. Do we have network issue now? Okay. I think we already have a network challenge. Hello.
Country.
Okay.
So that in future, our children will know after the president from the north, the president from the south will come. So that when you have such diverse participation by our various ethnicities, the Nigerian project could work. But where you have a project where only one side will continue to do this based on calibrations by soldiers who did coup, wrote something, divided states, said local governments, no, those things don't make sense. We know what the true data is. We went to election and we saw what is war. Nigeria percent Muslims. As you can see, not only Nigeria, not only Muslims, a lot of Christians. And that's why you saw in the north central part of the country, P2B defeated Atiku in north central. So Nigerian, whenever you hear people talk, they will pretend as if the whole of northern Nigeria is Muslim. It's not. It's not.
That is the way the northern politicians are carrying.
And I have access to this data.
Okay. The northern politicians are campaigning on behalf of the entire north and are saying some of them are of the opinion that the entire south makes just for about 30% of Nigerian population and they make for about 70% of Nigerian population. So that's why it's not a problem for them to leave. That's what some of them would say.
Yeah, they mistake land mass for population. You can't blame them. Don't forget that historically, they mistake land mass for population. Somebody might say 35% of the land mass. Somebody says, and then when you hear, the person will say population. Don't forget, when in the quota system, somebody gets 2 or 3 in Zamfara. He comes to university with us. But in the south, yeah, you have to get 320 or that kind of thing. So when such brains start telling you, and he gets confused about the physical size of a place with population, don't worry about that. And if we had to bend down to accept quota system, why would they allow the inclusion of Southerners in the governance of Nigeria? As I said earlier, this particular argument didn't start today. It started with Abiola, the annulment of Abiola. Abiola won election, it was cancelled. So I'm not surprised that these things have continued. If Atiku could say this, who is Atiku? What do you want to do? Remove Tinubu for Atiku?
Okay. All right, thank you so much. I hope I hope you
Tell
answered your
me.
question. Please,
Yes,
because I have
yeah,
callers
yeah.
on the line. Dr. Nonoji,
You-
today, if I leave you and this, my people, they will keep you here for 4 hours. And it's sorry for you. Hello, good
Uh,
evening, and welcome. Sorry, let me take this call.
ah, you think that we build the obedient network, the obedient movement to make
Hi.
Paul obedient at 80 years?
All right, welcome, welcome, Mr. Tony from Chicago. Welcome. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Precious.
Sir,
Please.
I greet you too, my brother.
And
Thank you.
Dr. Cash, please, in those days, there's something we have Sunday medicine. Can it be coming every week, once a week, to give us this medicine you are giving us today, please?
Dr. Katch, there's a protest for you to be coming every week. With a bottle of a carton of Dom Perignon anytime he's coming. They said they're going to provide for you. How many can you drink? Thank you.
I was celebrating last night. With a
He can't
Dom
hear you.
Perignon vintage 2003. It was beautiful. After Atiku left the
I can
PDP,
hear you, but he's saying something.
I was
He was
celebrating.
saying something. Well, go ahead and interpret what he was saying later. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Please go on.
Okay.
Mm,
What I'm saying now is this.
mm.
I always come in from a different angle. I'm somebody that believes if I think to an advantage, I must think on disadvantage. I don't go yes, yes, yes. Because when I think of yes, 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 the opponent has a way which you have to think how to counter it. Why I'm saying this is this. I believe it's done on the South.
Mm-hmm.
Let Obi handle ADC.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it is going now, if Atiku insists, because I know he must support that party and position himself as a presidential candidate, and Obi goes around to any other party, don't you think the South vote will be divided and thereby leaving Atiku taking off the ball? Because Tinubu now is now losing the North. And with what is happening now, CPC pulling out, Tinubu will not get that number of votes he got for the North again this time around. And that's why he's not moving to South. And if Obi goes to South, I believe Obi will still wipe out South than Tinubu. That's why South is even Southwest, some of them. So don't you think it will be a way out for Atiku?
So what are you advocating, that should Obi rather not join Atiku as vice?
I give it to Dr. Cash to go home with it. This on the ground, he has been following this thing. He knows better than us. But if they're working on it, let them work on this other one I'm saying. Let them believe that this country might even be a way for Atiku to clinch the vote. I don't
Okay.
give to him. He knows better than me and you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Nigerians, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me like your village people, I beg, and like this post. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Good evening, Precious.
Sir, you're welcome.
Good evening, Dr. Kashi.
He can
Thank you
hear you.
very
Go ahead.
much.
You know, it's baffling, you know, listening to what Bupa Galadima said, you know, and I have a problem by, you know, the South keeping quiet when they hear such thing. And all this intimidation that the North met somebody president, what is the Southern leaders doing about this? Because we the youth, we're tired of hearing this. Is it what you're going to bequeath to us? You know, I guess your parents, the leaders, these current leaders, their parents, you know, were subservient to these northerners, and they want to live the same thing for us. What is going on? If Dr. Kashi can answer me, what are they doing to tell the North to stop using such language? Because if they don't want Nigeria, can we just go our ways? I am tired of hearing people like Galadima come on national TV and say this kind of thing he said. I was so much ashamed of being a Nigerian listening to this. Because in actual sense, there is 2 countries or more. You cannot come and say, oh, something is happening in the country and the president is not doing anything about it. Then you form a political party to destabilize the country. I'm so shameful. So please, Mr. Katch, if you can explain to us, why is it always the north, and nobody hears about the south? I'm baffled with that, please. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Dr. Katch, would you like to react to that? And
Oh, yes, it's very simple. It is simple. Because 3 people came here. The first to come were the Portuguese, second to come were the British, the last to come were the Fulani. At independence, the British left. But before independence, after the Berlin Conference, the Portuguese left. The Fulani stayed behind. The problem right now is how do they maintain their positions of entitlement under a democracy? Because they don't have numbers. So that's why you're seeing they don't want democracy. They don't want free and fair democracy. But they also do some once in a while get certain lackeys who work with them, who are subservient, who openly speak against the South. That democracy is about the antidote for a lot of this. As we sustain our progression into better democracy and the election becomes free and fair, things will get better. I'm a very optimistic person. If Tinubu could allow for Electoral Act amendment, I think that's all we need. If under his rule, the Electoral Act is so strengthened that the idea of biometric authentication of voters before they vote is embedded properly as it is now, then added to electronic transfer being a must, we're gone. Every leader can change things for things to grow well. When Buhari finished ruling, he signed the Electoral Act. And that's when I say we can do this. I'm not a fool. That was what actually led me. I kept campaigning. People say, but you can't do it. I say, they didn't know that I understood that the Electoral Act that now allows the biometric authentication of voters before they can vote was a killer. That's why you didn't see those phantom numbers that used to come from the north. They didn't come again. And they were now forced to stop the computations and then said it was a glitch and started writing it on their hands. But I can tell you, changing.
So you feel that part of the reason why the election was perhaps maneuvered or played with was because of the fact that there was use of technology that would have checkmated some of those things.
That's what it is. Because Peter Obi won the election in every single military cantonment in Nigeria. Because you can't go there and start intimidating soldiers. So they allowed it free and fair. And that was an honor. He won in Lagos in a way that no other candidate got up to 25%. But then, the minute Buhari and his goons switch off the server manually, what they want. And I will tell you that Nigerians are not yet ready for country to change. If they want, they will behave like Kanu. You vote and you stay there, you want your vote counted. If you don't, because societies don't change if citizens don't revolt. The French changed through their revolution. The same thing everywhere else. So if you keep quiet and you allow those who parrot bigoted languages that divide our tribes, like the Buhari's use of people like MC Olomo and others to try to force voter suppression in Lagos. It was Buhari that did it, not Tinubu. Buhari was in power. Buhari and his gang were in power. They looked the other way, whereas those thugs in Lagos were performing voter suppression. It is the man that's in power that control the army, the DSS, the police, the INEC, and the presidency. That's who was doing that. No, not the man that would. No. After they suppressed and they did. So, us be clear about this. Nigerians have not yet suffered enough. If they have suffered enough, they will revolt. And to revolt, you will
Oh,
vote because it has happened in Kanu. People in Kanu voted and stood outside to wait for their vote to be counted. When the government and INEC checked, they say, no, how many? Over 500,000 people. You can't, no, don't go there because you cannot keep 500,000 people. And what happened? They were forced to announce the results. So we start doing that across the country. Fraudulent criminals will continue to count and write what they want and then send soldiers to the street, announce. But of course, I can tell you nothing lasts forever. We are now dealing with
all right.
Gen Z. We are dealing now with a generation that we've never seen before. This is the first generation in Nigerian history with the best education than their fathers. They also have seriousness you don't know. You see, under Buhari, they were there at the top, holding national flag, singing national anthem. Yet under Buhari, they were gunned down, massacred by the Buhari administration. So we need to find new strategies. You revolt, then they will be afraid because the people who do these things are not up to the 100,000. They're not up to 100,000.
So they not pass us on
They
number.
are Atiku is doing. No, they're not pastors. I look at what Atiku did. He took money and he's brought talking heads from the south to come and preach to him that the power should stay in the north. It's true. It's true. That is it. So
All right,
hunger is also part of this problem.
Somebody don't
Those talking heads you see following Atiku,
argue.
not that they're not smart. They're hungry. They probably have failed in their previous professions. They're hungry. I have learned to manage my hunger. I'm also contented with who I am. And of course, God has blessed me. I have the courage to share what I have. And I'm lucky to always have a front row seat in front of television. Not everybody has this capacity. So there are a lot of combinations that work. Don't lose it. And I talk and the society listens. It's not everybody that talks and the society. Look, you were asking me, don't see me on TV anymore. A lot of the people in authority have forced those people into compromise. Say, don't bring Katch. Don't bring Katch. But they get of brown envelope journalism in Nigeria. I'd go to channels, and the next thing, they will levy Channels TV 5 million for bringing me on. That is, it's not, it happened yesterday. I'm saying it openly. It's true. So they are using the NBC, the Broadcasting Commission, to intimidate the TV stations and the radio stations. And you remember the same when the naval retired intelligence general came to speak, they also levied the people. So it's a strategy to use those levies to stop you from inviting those who sometimes they also get involved
Please,
with the owners of the brokers' houses, give them money.
Okay. All right. So, sir, very quickly, somebody has been asking this question. I don't think is something that I don't know, but let me just ask it. The person is saying that is it possible for P2B to join hands with Tinubu in 2027 and then Tinubu will in turn support him in 2031? Perhaps P2B will be power minister for Tinubu so that let the South join together.
Can I join my question to that, Sister Precious, if you can?
Yes, just join your
Okay,
question, please. Go
Dr.
ahead,
Katch,
please.
this is an important question. I want you to answer if you have an
No,
answer.
not you, please.
The question is this: do you think that the communication strategy and Department of the Obedient and Mr. P2B, do you think that he need to either need to change or does he need to bring more professionals into the strategic communication in Obedient and the, his people that are moving with him around? Please, it's very important.
What we run is an organize themselves in different units and they do these things. There are a lot of people doing it. In the last campaign, people were doing this on their own with their money, doing these things. So that's, if you ask me, Nigerians are capable of doing this. A lot of things I never knew were happening during the campaign. Okay, the other one you talked about, I'm aware that government people were trying to reach out to Peter. But you see,
So Tinubu's administration
when you
tries to
reach out to him, When you reach out to him and he refuses, the next thing, the goons who are sympathizing with government will start abusing him. How come if the man sneezes, they will abuse him? The man travels from wherever he is to Daura, but he didn't travel on the first day because he couldn't get a connecting flight. He goes the second day, the family received him, they still abuse him. Don't you say that some people are very, very paranoid about P2B? What they are paranoid about is not P2B. They are afraid of change. They are afraid of change. That change is not P2B. It is the youths. P2B is just the face, the mask. He's not the masquerade. The masquerade are the youths. He's just the mask. He's just the mask. He's just the mask. And that's why no matter people say, I don't think he owes me. Those who were complaining, he doesn't bring anything, and they go to John Atiku. The reasons I don't want anything. I tell them I'm rather grateful to him that he agreed to my pleadings to come and be at the head of this. That's just the truth. I'm also grateful to Labour Party for giving me a platform to market him. If you are asking for 10 naira, you give me 3 naira, I will tell you thank you. And I move to ask for someone else. So what Labour Party has given me, I thank them.
you.
And even all the youths who have come to participate, I'm grateful. This is what it is. I don't ask for too much.
All right, thank you, sir.
Nobody planned what's going on.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, good evening and welcome. Oga Ike Choosing, thank you so much for joining us. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Precious. Can I speak now?
Yes, you can speak. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go straight to the point.
Yeah, this is our Dream Nation from the United Kingdom.
Our Dream Nation, welcome.
All right, thank you, Dr. Katch. I appreciate you for what you are doing. We are solidly behind you. Most of us, we have invested so much on this movement, and we cannot take second position. One thing I want to remind you, sir, for the work you're doing, there are some things I would like you to manage speaking in public, talking about platform and other things, because in the local, they have vowed that they will not allow our principal to stand on any platform to contest for this election. So we should manage that information for the safety of our principal, PO. Thank you, sir, for what you are doing. If you remember earlier when Donald Trump was brought in US, media, they spent so much money to pay the media to advertise Donald Trump. Donald Trump spent so much money. But for Peter Obi, we are not going to media houses. It is the Emilocon people, the opponent, that is helping us to sell our candidate. So I'm just urging the obedient movement, whenever his name is coming out, it's coming out for our good. They are helping us to sell him. Imagine Peter Obi not attending Buhari burial. Kwankwaso did not go. They didn't notice those ones. But it's only Peter Obi. So they are helping us to him. If you know how much, go and check how much Donald Trump spent on media before he became the first president of America, just to sell him. People talk about him on social media. It's very important thing. So today we have that going on Peter Obi. Dr. Katch, I don't want you to disturb yourself going to Channels TV talking or other places. The platform we have today, we are in digital age. This place you are, Precious Studio you are saying, is selling more than Channels TV.
You didn't whine me.
No, you don't know where you are going to.
Are you
That is
serious?
one thing you don't understand.
The work I just started when?
No. We are in a global village. It's not only talking on you. You don't know where social media are going. Some of those TV channels, how many people are watching them the way they are watching this platform you think is a small one? So the people that mean well to Nigeria sit down and listen to you. And one thing I want to remind us, sir, you are doing great. The battle we are fighting, like you said, is not a battle just for few individuals. It's for the generation to even come. Today we are fighting against the elite. Atiku is part of the elite. Atiku will prefer Tinubu to win the election than Peter Obi. Because if Tinubu win the election, he's part of the elite. So we are fighting against the elite who are holding on to power. So every obedient movement and every well-meaning Nigerians should sit back and fasten their seatbelt and get ready for us to take back our country. Then lastly, sir, you are doing great. I appreciate you. We are not. Before, I use my platform is pushing for electoral reform, but I sat back and I look at the reform we have already, the electoral law we have already. We can win with it. When I remember that 2023, why we sit back was because our principal came out and gave us one statement. I came through the court process in Anambra State several times. So everybody shade your sword. I will follow the court process. But now it is conspicuous and obvious that everyone in Nigeria knows that we don't have judiciary. There is no judiciary. So none of us is going to hope on any court. So Nigerians, the only way for us to take back the country is you vote, you stand by your vote. Remember recently what happened in Kanu in 2019? They robbed Kwankwaso, the Kwankwasia movement. They won the election, but they robbed them through the court. But the last time they decided not to go to the court in 2023, they stood by it and they could not rewrite the result. So this time around 2027, be it Peter Obi that will come to us to tell us no. Peter Obi, we are privileged to have him as a face for us to take back our country. So we are fighting for our life and the life of our children. Our parents have failed us. So what we are doing today is Nigerians stand by or vote. Whether Peter Obi say come and say no, it's our battle. Peter Obi is part of the elite.
Thank
but
you.
He's just a good person that is
Thank
standing
you.
for us.
Thank you.
So let us continue to come together
Thank
and
you.
take back our country. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Kashi.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello. Yes, welcome.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Martin. I'm a first-time caller calling from Germany.
Martin, you're welcome.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You are doing a very good work.
Thank you.
Mr. Kashi, I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
I have an observation for Mr. Peter Obi. Every youth, everybody want Peter Obi to be the president. But there is a problem from the southeast. Even the station we were working before, Madam Precious, what Mr. Darlington is doing a very big damage to the image of Peter Obi by saying Peter Obi should be second fiddle, must be the vice president to Atiku. And that's very
And that's his
worrisome.
opinion now. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's saying it on air. Everybody's hearing. He's selling Atiku, forcing Atiku on everybody. So, Mr. Katch, I think you are from the southeast. You should try to do some homework to call people like Darlington and Kenneth Okonkwo, Soludo to order. Nobody said they should not choose their candidate. But the truth of the matter is, choose your candidate, sell your candidate, but don't bring the order that you don't like down. Because Peter Obi is the hope of the new Nigeria we are hoping to have. Everybody in this Western world, we are hoping if Nigeria can be better, everybody want to come back home. The last time I traveled to Nigeria, because of the fear of kidnapping, I stayed in Lagos as if I was a prisoner. I could not even travel home. Not because of bad governance. So please, I appreciate what you guys are doing, but please, since you have a network of how to reach your kinsmen in Southeast, try call those guys to order, please, because this time is a very crucial time. Everybody wants a new Nigeria. We all want a new Nigeria. You cannot employ somebody like Atiku, a man of about 80 years old, to come and manage your company. How much will you manage Nigeria? And Atiku is from Fulani extraction. So how do you expect Atiku to become a president and fight his own brother? Look at what Buhari just did. So I don't understand. So this is why I call. Thank you very much for what you are doing. We appreciate you. Kudos to you guys.
All right.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Okay. All right. Dr. Katch, would you like to
Thank
react to that?
you.
My phone lines are they're going crazy. But I think I have to stop it here so I can let you go. We've done 3 hours and it will be too unfair for me to stretch you further. The calls are still coming in their numbers, and I don't want to be unfair to you. But let me let you react to that, and then give us a parting shot.
I would like to tell them they should not worry themselves. We are on course. Sometimes I don't know what drives me, even though despite the risk, which everybody understands, I don't know what drives me. The system will try to stop us from what we're doing. But I think for every generation, there are champions.
Hmm.
We have started the way we have started. We started 8 months to elections. You talk about the people in the Southeast. Of course, there's no society where you will not be able to hire assassins to go assassinate the character of somebody if the price is right. That's not an issue. But when the campaign starts, I will tell you people, every single tree, you see several people stoning and something great and good on that tree. We don't mind. They are helping promote Peter. It's like Trump. Trump wasn't paying for press. It was coming to him free of charge. And as he was getting them, people were taking interest. And before you knew it, people were now lining up to actually challenge the army of status quo. So I think we're at an incredibly historical period in Nigeria's history. The period where young people employ themselves, as I said earlier. I started this internally in the PDP. It wasn't easy to get Peter to agree, but the minute he agreed, Nigerians from all walks of life employed themselves from abroad, from people were organizing in units because everybody seeks a better country. The British have gone, but the Fulani are not gone. We need to fight for the second independence. Nothing good, my brothers, come easy. We must fight. We must fight. Instead of us coming together to fight, they are importing Fulanis from across the sub-region and across the world to come into Nigeria and fight.
Hmm.
Fight to take over land from indigenous people. How can ethnic cleansing by foreigners work in Nigeria? Ask yourself. Before me and you, Precious, we were thinking everybody in the north were Ndawusa. But look at it now. It was Hausas who were jubilating when their oppressor, Atiku, Buhari died. So you're going to see more. This hasn't happened before. So all I'm trying to tell you is these are signs of changes and revolts in society. We look up to Tinubu, he's Yoruba. We've had a lot of rhetorics from the Yorubas that they seek freedom, which is true. Campaign was also backed by Yorubas. Never mind the few Yorubas who were being pumped and instrumented by the Fulani to actually go attack voters. It doesn't matter. We have started. And I will tell you people something. This war is like killing a python. You don't kill it with a single strike. In our villages, you will hit it. You will hit it. It will keep turning. You will keep hitting it. You will keep hitting it until it dies. We have started. And we're going to build more awareness. You can see those who came together to undermine and annul the election and wrote and acrobatically installed Tinubu are now fighting amongst themselves. You see, the CPC faction are now fighting the ACN faction in the APC. This is natural. This is the way it works through history. Those who gather to come take your things, when they want to share the loot, they start fighting. That's when you probably go outside and be able to know who came to your house. This is nature repeating itself in the political space. And I'm very, very optimistic. You see, I have read a lot about historical things that happened this way. And that's why I tell myself, the more I sustain propagating the things I do, if there are no intelligent rebuttals, a matter of time, Nigerians will come to see these things as truths. When Buhari was in power, and I told a foreign journalist who came from Europe that the government was actually involved in the actions of the Fulani militiamen. He said, no, he was telling me they hear climatic changes and people, I said, it's not true. The people who are doing this don't speak English. They don't speak Hausa. They speak French and Bambara. They're not Nigerians. And people said, are you sure? Some thought I was joking. But with time, Hausa started saying it. They speak Bambara. They speak French. These people came here from war regions because the West African leaders that included President Buhari at that time were not able to agree to resolving the crisis in Burkina Faso, to resolving the crisis in Mali, to resolving the crisis in Senegal, to resolving the crisis in Central African Republic. What happened? Buhari's government announced that Fulanis from all over the world can come to Nigeria. And as they were coming, the pressure mounted. The Kano state government said, if truly you want a place to stay, we will give you land. But they didn't want that. Buhari was busy looking for land where there was water. Look at it now. That is the only offense of the people in the Benue Basin. Because they have land that has water, and so they must be killed, ethnically cleanse off their land, while the government looks the other way. And they could be taken to IDP camps while foreigners take their land and rename the places. This is a problem. Our problems are historical. The government didn't do anything until the Catholic Church complained to the US government. And when the US government spoke about it, that was when Tinubu now took action in Benue State. It just means that those in power like the political will to do the right thing. And that's why, after several arguments, it was decided, let them have
All right,
state police
sir,
that will be manned
let me
by the
quickly ask a
indigenous people.
question. Something was trending in Lagos earlier today, and since day before yesterday, by the way, but I kind of forgot to bring it to the fore. So the Lagos state government is changing the names of streets, especially those named after Igbo people. And you know how streets are named after people. If I am the first person who perhaps resides in that place and I may clear the bush, stay for there, as maybe the first person we build house there, I fit Congo give, the local government or the state the name, say, oh, that kind of thing, and they name that place over me if I want the place to be named after me and all that. But they're changing all of those and replacing it with Yoruba names. Some of them slightly Hausa names. Some people think that this is, a full war against the Igbo. People are saying that because the Igbos come to Lagos State and they come to occupy, and they come to claim that they're the owners of the land and want to pursue the origins of the land. Would you like to react to that quickly as you wrap up? Sorry, Nigerians, please kindly don't forget to subscribe and like, please.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. If the actions of those irredentists is to survive, we'll have to end the Nigerian experiment. I will tell you, there was a time when the Indians were all over Manhattan. There was a time when the Dutch were dominant in Manhattan. These things are consequences of trade. The Igbos who got advantage in Lagos and Abuja did it because the Nigerian laws and Nigerian state and nation building allowed people to buy things no matter what it is. So if what you purchase, suddenly some people now think you've gained so much advantage, you're not going to remove the British. It used to be the Dutch in Manhattan. Then after the Industrial Revolution, the British came. This is nature. This is how it works. The Igbos will not give up on the advantages in Lagos and in Abuja. They will keep those things as trophies of their participation in the Nigerian project. Igbos have done well in Abuja, have done well in Jos, done well in Kano. Sabongari right now looks like the GRA in Kano. Persistence. It is not because the Igbos wanted to go there, no. It is because the Igbos arrived Kanu before the Fulanis came in 1804. And they have invested and built up. It's the same of Lagos. When the Bini took Lagos and called it Eko meant camp in the Benin language, under the Benin kingdom. But the Igbos came into Lagos and started trading. And from the profit they made, they bought land over Lagos. So if you're not going to complain about a man who has gained advantage because he kept buying shares, you will go and find Mr. Warren Buffett to kill him. Yes, you will find Elon Musk to kill him. It's true.
Because
We
Elon Musk is
say,
originally a South African. So,
yes, he's from South Africa. From Canada, he ended up in the US. But you can see, there are even some people say, you don't want to talk to Trump, let's deport him. You that is saying deport him, are you original American? Most of the people who say this are not Lagosians.
pause. Oh yes. Well,
Because Lagos, the first were returnees from the people you call the Saros. At the end of the slaves, so the slaves were moved down to called the oldest country in Africa, that was Liberia. But some of them say no, they can remember their origin and they were brought back to Lagos. Most of them were Ijebu, most of them were Egba, and they stay. That's why you hear them with those names like, Sapara Williams,
yeah.
Alexander.
They
You
have a
have
fusion of English names.
exactly, and they live, most of them, in that Isaleko, from Sangros area through to the areas you call City Hall. All of that
So what do
me
you
and
say
you
about the
refer
Badagry
to
people?
as Central Lagos.
Okay.
These are called Saros. I have friends, I have relatives who are also amongst them. And so now, you now have Nigerians coming to Lagos because the government concentrated on Lagos. It was federal capital. Igbos came and Igbos started doing their trading. As they make profit from sale, from their trading, just like those who came to there, came as immigrants. And they got into construction, they got into betting, they got into also prostitution, and the money they made, they purchased assets in Lagos, in New York, and in Manhattan. You're not going to come and say you will seize what the Italians got in Manhattan because they originally came from Italy. All of us came from somewhere. These people you see making noise are not indigenous Lagosians. No. What they are saying is, how come Igbos came from where they came from? Because historically, a lot of who call themselves Yorubas are actually Igbos. You hear the Oba, the Oni of Ife say it, because the Igbo migration, the proto-Igbo expansion was westwardly. Igbos left the east and moved into Benin. From Benin, they moved. If you check the DNA testing, the Igbos and the Yorubas have 99% matching DNAs. The expansion was westwardly. But of course, because today, in a competitive Nigeria, the Igbos have advantage when it comes to wealth distribution, when it comes to direct domestic investments, and when it comes to education, which is a carryover from the experiment of evangelizing the Igbo with education that was started by the Irish priest, Bishop Shanahan from Onitsha. So the Igbos have invested so massively in education, and Nigeria today is a democracy. So the minute the democracy came, Igbos now use their investments in education to attack the markets. Whereas the rest of the country were excluding Igbos after the Civil War from the procurement. Nigeria is an import-dependent country, so a lot of what you do is government procurement. The Igbos now went there, the trading, master, distribution, while others were in government. As Nigeria now became a democracy, and Kochi is basically the markets and elections. And the market is premised on the economy because we're not a manufacturing economy. the Igbos now unleashed their advantage, and everybody is very, very uneasy with the Igbo advantage. If you want to compete with the Igbo, invest in what they are doing. Invest in trading. Yes. Because no matter what it is that you do in government procurement, you will still come and spend the money. You procure, you now want to build a massive mansion. Igbos are the ones who are selling building materials. Yes. Igbos dominate Nigeria in direct domestic investments. And most of that is in retail trading. So they will wait for you. You get government money, you come and give them their capital and spend the profit. So
Now this one
I
you
don't
said now
think those
just
things will
reminded me of
work. For you to
something.
want it to end,
It just reminded me of something. You know
yes.
that earlier this last year during that
You see,
end
in
hunger
your
protest, the president had assured that he was going to announce that he was going to, give some duty waiver to particular products, pharmaceutical, some grains, and all that. But till now, the president is yet to respond to that. And people are saying because of this thing you said, I just remembered. Sorry for cutting. See now, talk with you at the end. So the people are saying that perhaps the reason why it's difficult for the president to actually fulfill that is because those who will eventually import these things will be Igbos. And maybe it's hard for the president to pinpoint the Igbo importers he would give this contract to give the duty waiver. And maybe that's the only reason why that promise was not fulfilled. That's what people are insinuating.
the Igbos have Nigeria where they're very uncomfortable. If we do buy Nigeria first, who are you going to buy from? Innocent. The Igbo man who manufactures cars in Onisha. The Igbos, if you say buy local, the Igbos are there in local industry, in local manufacturing. Because a lot of the Igbos who started by importing foreign goods are today assembling. And from assembly, they go into local manufacturing, no matter how small scale the manufacturing is. Nigeria has an Igbo problem. It's either Nigeria will deal with that problem or that problem will consume Nigeria. I know so. What you have today is the most successful generation of Igbos. Why? As Nigeria embraced democracy, democracy with its market components now saw the Igbo unleash their distributive capabilities. And profits come from there. And Nigeria is crying. So let Nigeria work. I believe in Nigeria. The Igbos who say Biafra, I don't want Biafra. Why? I'm greedy. Why will I take a small a carton of a shot of brandy when I can own the entire carton? Why will I take only 5 bottles of stout when I can be the dominant player in the entire bottle of 36 bottles of stout? Nigeria is in trouble with the Igbo. I know
Thank
so.
you.
If you want to solve the Igbo, if you want to drive them away, you have to end the night. Don't forget another thing. The Igbos come from the area with the largest concentration of hydrocarbon. And that was why, because of the historical problem the British have had, the Igbo, dating from the days before the Emancipation Proclamation, the British came to start a war with the Igbo in 1958. It was the Consul General in Enugu that stopped them. Yet, when the coup occurred in 66, the British said, no, 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 it's an Igbo coup. And supplied arms, and that things went on until it stopped. Money ceased, everybody giving 20 pounds. Today, Igbos are back, dominant in the free economy.
Thank you.
You cannot take away the hydrocarbons that occur in Igbo land. Igbo land, the Igbo states of Anambra, Imo, Abia, and Enugu are home to 76% of the entire gas occurrence in Nigeria. And these ones are just the ones that are discovered by accident. Because after the Civil War, the Nigerian government stopped all explorations of hydrocarbons in Igbo land. The Orient Petroleum oil wells, there were wells that were capped. It was Obasanjo that uncapped them, and that's it. And then as they were doing some exploration somewhere, doing construction, they struck the largest gas reserve in Africa at Asar North in a place called Ohaji in Imo State. When Dumebi Kachikwu, former petroleum minister, designed the gas master plan, the southeast, where the gas is dominant, was in it. But when Buhari in 2019 wanted to now construct the master plan, he took away the gas from the east and channeled it through River State up north, from there going through Morocco to Europe. That means incubating trouble. When the Igbos start complaining that why will you take our gas and we're not part of the gas master plan, this is trouble. I went to your place in Ndoki. I was beautifully impressed with the blue water, and I knew very well Ndoki is so very close to the Atlantic. But do you know, as I'm talking to you today, President Tinubu has stopped all dredging works in the east, so that anything about ports should be in Lagos, should be in Ekpe, and maybe in Ogun State. Don't you understand? That is a problem. And as you over-concentrate ports in Lagos, so do you have congestion. Allow the Igbo to go to the east. Allow them to develop their ports. And you see Lagos will be what it is not. Lagos will lose. Igbos will leave. If they leave and return back to ports in the east, Lagos will lose what it currently has as advantage. So Nigeria has a lot of problems. Nigeria has an Igbo problem. We know that. And that's part of why I'm doing what I'm doing. When people say, no, believe, I say, why should we be excluded? And you tell me to stop. No, we will. And I started looking for a candidate, and that was how I saw Peter. That's how I saw Peter. As they say, the rest is history.
Thank you so much. We've done almost 3.5 hours now. Wow. Now, I thought I used to talk for a living, but if you like say, I will give you cap. I remove cap for you, sir. Thank you so much. They have requested that you join us every week. So do we do this again next week, Thursday?
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Looking forward.
I'm available.
Let's keep doing this. Let's keep educating Nigerians. Let's keep talking for the growth and development of our nation. The little we can contribute. Since this one our own natural resources, the matter we get. Now our gas reserve be this. Make with the use and the better the nation. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Do enjoy the rest of your day, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. And I thank your worldwide audience for also having the patience to listen to us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Guys, you should help me thank Dr. Katch. Please, all the people that promise, don't, where is it? T.Y. Danjuma, come and bring your Russian vodka. Don't bring Ukrainian one, because you can differentiate between Ukrainian and Russia. I sabi read language. Don't worry yourself. Thank you so much, sir. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. All right. Thank you to everyone who's been part of the show. I appreciate you. Sorry we were not able to touch on all the trending conversations today. It's unfortunate, but very fortunate, because we had a very explosive session today. And I can't thank Dr. Katch enough. He's an amazing, amazing, and awesome guest. We do hope that we can do this again next week, Thursday, and perhaps continue to do this even the week after next, the week after next, the next week after next, until we get something, concrete and something done in this country. I love you guys. Remember to subscribe now. You know they pay money to subscribe. Why not they do like this now? Subscribe. Not be Good TV, not be DSTV. Subscribe now. Kindly click on the subscription button, like, and then share this post very importantly. Make the thing go around. Let people for hear what's in they happen. Break and dance small. Make it share for your different platforms and make people continue to hear the things that will happen for Nigeria. I love Honor. I go see Honor again tomorrow evening, God willing. With the do of Prince Francis Chilaka, Mr. Kenobi, and Dr. Dayo Kayode will join us tomorrow. He's a very strong Atiku Abubakar person, and he'll be here to tell us his own, reason why Atiku Abubakar left. He was supposed to join us today, and I was really looking forward to seeing that banter between him and Dr. Ononuju. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it, but I look forward to him joining us tomorrow. Make we see, hear from him and their own side of the story. And hey, if you're an APC person and you have APC people, bring them here. Let them come here and talk their mind. We are for everybody and for nobody, but we're not Buhari. I love you guys. Good night and God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the day.